Welcome back to the IMNerd Podcast, guys. I'm your host, Freyway, and I'm here with my co-host, Kenny. And today we have a very special guest, one of my near and dear friends from the Yu-Gi-Oh community who has since evolved and now is a Digimon tamer, one of the best content creators and one of the earliest content creators in the Yu-Gi-Oh community before it became so popular now. We have with us Cordero Spencer, aka Sexy Vexy. Welcome to the podcast. It's been a long time we've been trying to get you on, and I'm so happy to finally have you here. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but one of my friends told me I had to do this.
Shit, not the fan.
I had to bring it out.
Yeah, well, that's a classic. We know you for bringing out the fan, you know, for doing your old school Yu-Gi-Oh drama videos. And like, even at one point, I remember during the pandemic, something happened where you like lost your channel. And
that was sad. I was crying my eyes out.
That was the saddest moment for me as well, as far as like how long I've known you, and I know how much effort you put into your channel. I remember, I didn't know that you had so many fucking subscribers on YouTube. Like, you legit are a content creator. Like, it's crazy. You're one of the biggest ones in the community, especially going back like 10 years. I've known you for over 10 years now, which is so weird.
Yeah, back in 2011.
Yes, like we met at YCS Columbus, I believe.
Yep.
And that's when I first joined ARG. That was the first event that I joined ARG, and I believe you were already on ARG, right?
I think I was.
Yeah, we met at Columbus. And so I guess to start off this podcast episode, I do want to start with like how we met and how you even ended up on Team ARG and like your role and being a content creator and like growing your channel. So how did you end up with Jim McMahon like the rest of us and on that super team? How did that happen?
Well, do you remember, of course you remember Alex the Thunderpants?
Yes, Alex Van Sant.
He was the one that messaged me and told me that I need to be on ARG. This is like the newest thing. We got all the pro players on there. We got Jeff, you, Billy, everybody's on there. Yep. He's like, you need to message him, get on there because you're really good at content creating. You're good with the news and all the rant videos and stuff. So then I slid in Jim's DMs and messaged him and say, look, my name is blah, 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 Vexacus4666. I actually put HBIC, all that stuff on there. And then he told me, yeah, sure, you can be on there. I seen Alex and I think Jeff, I'm not sure about Jeff. I think Jeff told him a little bit about me too. So then he told me, let's do a trial run, see how you do. And then everything went good. I started posting up deck profiles and stuff, and he was really impressed like how fast I can post up deck profiles. Because I was, till this day, I am the fastest at posting up news, even though I don't do Yu-Gi-Oh no more. I'm still the fastest. You used
to have that shit. If some tea happened in the community, Cordero had that shit on his channel ASAP. Like any drama that happened, somebody important got robbed or like somebody got banned or something crazy happened at an event. You know, I remember like remember the Nazar stuff that happened back in the day.
Oh yeah, I had front row center to that info.
Yep, there was a lot of stuff, and somehow you would sometimes not even be at the event and still know what happened at the event. And I would be at the event and I wouldn't even know. I would be like, "What are you talking?"
Yeah, and then funny thing, I'd be texting you like, "Did this just happen?" And you'd be like, "How the fuck did you know that?"
Yeah, like
I got eyes everywhere.
I'm like that literally.
That's fine.
He's like the master of whispers from Game of Thrones. He's like Varys, like Lord Varys, who just like knows like everything. He wouldn't know shit as it was unfolding, and I'm sitting there looking around like, you're not even here. How do you know who just got jumped in the parking lot? Like, how do you know?
I'm just like Merrick had that Millennium Ride and got eyes and controlling people, got all the info.
So where did Yu-Gi-Oh start for you as far as being a player? Like, how did you get into the game? Did you used to watch the anime, or what was it for you?
Well, for me, at first I was into Pokemon, and then I saw the show on TV. I'm like, oh, this looks fun. I'm like telling my mom, I'm like, don't be mad. I kind of want to get into another card game. This looks like a lot of fun to watch anime and stuff. By the way, my mom was the one that got me into anime.
That's really cool. That is actually awesome. That is such a unique relationship because I actually do not know a single mother in my life that actually knows anime and like loves anime and stuff. I don't know anyone.
Off the top of my head, I have one other friend that I have, and I'm jealous of him too. His mom got him into anime, and his dad got him into D&D. And like he said, like growing up, like he would watch anime with his mom, and he would play D&D with his mom and his dad. And I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
that sounds awesome."
Yeah, right? I know nothing of the sort. The only thing I had growing up is that my dad is a gamer, but not like how I play Final Fantasy and Mega Man and stuff like that I grew up on. He just plays like all the sports games, so Madden, 2K, stuff like that. Like he played Home Run Derby, and that was kind of fun, and boxing and stuff. But he never, basically just sports. Like my dad is just a sports head. His channel at his house is always on ESPN 24/7. So we couldn't really relate too much, except maybe every once in a while I play like Tekken and he pick up the sticks and somehow beat me, even though he doesn't really play those kind of games, but he still just, I guess, knew better hand-eye coordination than I did. But yeah, you have a mom who genuinely loves anime as well. So she got you into Pokemon and like anime and stuff. So yeah.
She got me into that. Power Rangers. Let's see. Remember when Mario was a thing? Like Nintendo, Super Nintendo? Yes. She got me all of those things.
Damn, that is so crazy.
Cool. So do you know your mom's favorite anime?
Right now, currently, she likes Prince of Tennis, and she is liking My Hero Academia. But my mom likes to watch that specific anime English dub because my mom always doing a crossword puzzle or something, so she has to focus on watching it instead of just listening to it in English dub. Yeah. But she's been watching both. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Damn, that's cool as shit.
So
and she's very sad what happened this week.
Prince of Tennis is a cool pick.
Oh yeah, she likes it because it just came back.
I heard good things about Prince of Tennis.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a sports anime, and I've said this for a long time. Sports anime, it's like the next frontier for a lot of anime fans, because what I've noticed is there's a lot of anime fans that don't really like sports. It makes sense because we're nerds. I'm talking about Frasier, but not just Frasier. Almost all of my friends that are in the anime don't like sports.
That's true, though.
Me and right. In terms of watching sports, I like playing sports, but I don't like watching them. But anyway, anyway, the point is, they're like, I don't like sports. I'm not watching this basketball anime or this tennis anime. But then when you actually watch them, you realize, holy shit, these things are like, it's insane how interesting anime can make a sport that you don't care about.
Yeah, because I have no incentive to watch actual sporting games and stuff like that, except like I like championships, right? So I'll watch the Super Bowl because that's like more of a social gathering.
I watch the halftime show.
Halftime show, definitely halftime show. Especially next year is going to be Rihanna. That's going to be insane. Long time coming, and then she's probably dropping an album. Don't want to get too sidetracked, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm genuinely happy that Rihanna might be returning to music. But yes, I'll watch like the Super Bowl with friends, and that's more social, like drinking event. And then NBA championship, I'll usually watch the playoffs of the NBA like throughout and that type of thing. But as far as being fully invested, I just love how riled up everyone gets over sports in real life. And like you have no effect on it whatsoever, but people get so emotional.
Dude, the Phillies right now are doing really good. They're in the playoffs or whatever.
Yeah, they're going far so far.
I only know this because I work in a sports bar, and dog, the fucking energy in that place yesterday was insane. Like, people were screaming their heads off. It was insane.
I can only imagine because right now in Philadelphia, the Eagles are undefeated, and as far as football, and then the Phillies are going deep in the playoffs. And
Philly's hype right now.
Yeah, no one expected the Phillies to be doing what they're doing. Like this, I heard that a lot of people were just surprised that they are doing, like they could be in the World Series soon, and that is crazy considering how the season started and stuff for them. But yeah, I am not the biggest sports person. I just kind of keep up with it from Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, like whatever's trending at the time. But I'm not like everyone knows, like I'm not some real sports guy. Like I'm not week to week. But okay, so Cordero. How did you get into Yu-Gi-Oh specifically? Like what happened? How did you start playing the cards in real life?
For me, it was like after I watched the first episode, Yugi summon Exodia, Exodia Obliterate, and then I went to Toys R Us, got cards. Back then when Toys R Us had like the little hobby league thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't know about that. That's how I feel like I'm old.
I remember the God cards from that. They were like the actual color of the Egyptian gods.
Fake one that you get from I think it was from the Game Boy Advance. Yes. I think I still have them. The Game Boy Advance game.
They look so cool too. Like Slifer's card is actually red, Obelisk card is actually blue, and Ra's card is actually yellow.
I used to summon those bad boys back then in Toys R Us days. And then I learned from playing there, I learned that, they actually got real locals and stuff. So then I started going to my locals in Chicago. And I'm like, this are real locals and stuff. Here I'm thinking I'm playing the game right and stuff, like summoning Blue Eyes and stuff. And then I actually learned from two people, Chris and Gus. Married couple. I don't think they're married anymore. But they taught me how to do like the real like summoning single tributes and all that stuff, do it the correct way. And then from there, just history.
I just love how literally every Yu-Gi-Oh player somehow has the same exact start from the at least the ones that are around our age, because all of us essentially started with playing the game the way the show did it. Like we did not tribute summon. We didn't have a ban list. We didn't care what was semi-limited or whatever. We play whatever we wanted in our deck, and our deck could be any size. Your extra deck was any size, and you would just summon a monster. Like I'm summoning Summon Skull. I don't care. He's a 1 tribute or nothing like that. It's just like, yep. And I'll summon my Blue Eyes and attack over it, and then you flip a track.
You did it.
Yeah, and that's how we all learned. It's so weird that we all collectively I barely even read the effects of cards if they did something different in the show. So I remember always wanting the Living Arrow to come out because in the show, Yugi did so much crazy shit with the Living Arrow. Like, I'm gonna use polymerization with the Living Arrow to fuse with Mammoth Graveyard so that it can fucking infect your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and start killing it from the inside.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
Toon World was insane. I used to tell my friends that if I activate Toon World and I like have a Toon monster, you can't actually attack it. Like, I would just tell them, like, you can't interact with it because it's in Toon World after my turn ends. So, like, I would do what Pegasus did. The shit would come out of a book, it would attack the person, and then it would go back in, and they couldn't do anything about it until they got rid of Toon World. It was crazy.
Those days bring back memories, especially, like, with Joey. I used to act like Joey with Graceful and Skull Dice. Oh, no, roll the 2. No, your attack is divided in half. Not no minus 200 and stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
I used to do it just like that. All anime.
So did you used to play any of the Yu-Gi-Oh video games too? Like False
I played them all.
Stuff like that. Was it Forbidden Memories was a big one?
Forbidden Memory,
Sacred Cards.
All the Chaos games that was on the PC is 3 of them. One was a Yugi game, Kaiba,
Reshuffle
Joey.
Destruction.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember those too. The Yugi
Duelist of the
Roses.
Oh my god, Duelist of the Roses was so good.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, so the crazy thing is you are one of the very few content creators who has topped a YCS. Like, you actually...
I still don't know how I did that. You were the first one to text me too, because you were not at the event. You text me and said, is this true that you topped?
I couldn't believe it. Wait, was that Ohio 2016 or something?
Yes.
I actually was there. I just got scraped. But
didn't you go out drinking?
I did, because remember, it was a con that happened at like some kind of it was like, was not Gen Con, but it was some kind of Ohio Con or some shit. I forget what it was called, but there was some kind of con for that event going on in the same building. So like, we were in essentially a convention that happened to have a Yu-Gi-Oh YCS in it, and I believe you played Jake Finney. You were playing, was it Magic Specters or something like that?
Demise, 42 card Demise Magic Specters.
Yes, and that was your own homebrew. Like, you completely made that shit up, because I did not see anybody else playing anything like that. And you actually could have won. I know you know that part.
I know that. No, don't even bring that up.
I gotta bring it up. You actually, Cordero could have been a YCS champion for all we fucking know. Isn't that crazy to think about, Cordero? Like, you could have legitimately. But you know what? Shout out to Jake. I think he was the one who won that event, right?
Yeah, that could have been me.
That is crazy. You could have eliminated Jake, and all you had to do was say attack. It was like the show when
I activated, but my dumb butt. I don't know if I got excited or what. I played carded Demise first,
and you can't be damaged.
Swung at him.
Yep.
I don't know why I did that.
That was literally all it took, and Jake Finney would not have been a YCS champion. It's crazy how something so small and simple happens, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh for you. It's a lot of great stories behind this game. But yeah, most content creators in Yu-Gi-Oh did not have actual like Yu-Gi-Oh credentials like that, like on the level of a YCS, because topping a YCS is really difficult. It still is. It always has been. Like, even
it's harder now.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard. There's so much competition. I think that in general the game is harder also, and the game is also just so different. But yeah, you accomplished something that a lot of people hadn't. But the world is slowly shifting, where you have a lot of the better players, really good players, and even players of the past who are now changing into the world of content creation. And you see this now with people like Dominic Couch just started a channel with another YCS champion. I believe his name is like Kobe or Cody. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I just started watching you guys' first video like this week. So shout out to Dom's YouTube channel. But you have some of the
best. He used to live by me.
Who, Dom?
Mm-hmm.
So like, you're from the Chicago area, right?
Same with Marcus too.
Yes, I know Marcus, because I remember when I first met Marcus, he was like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. And he was just like basically a kid who really wanted to do well.
I remember him growing up, and now look at him. And today's actually the anniversary when he won that YCS.
Today is?
Today's the anniversary.
Wow, that's actually crazy. I was there for that event. Like,
I was there.
16.
That might be my last Yu-Gi-Oh top, actually. I think that was when I played Magic Spectre Metal Foes, and that was my own homebrew. So it looks like me and you both are good at doing that.
Yeah, I played Magic. Me and Jeff both played Demise Dark Magician, both with like different twists
at that event.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. I think people were playing Blue Eyes too. I feel like Billy was playing Blue Eyes.
It was Blue Eyes and what's that called? See, this is how bad.
I remember Metal Foe was the deck at that time. That was like the deck that won. I believe the finals was like a Metal Foe mirror match or something. But yeah, Blue Eyes was a kind of a counter to it because of the one synchro they had that you couldn't summon more than one monster at a time. So you couldn't go pen 5. I think it's Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon or something like that. Blue Eyes White Spirit Dragon. But yes, that's like just crazy memories there that we both like topped around in the same year with Magic Spectre. I never even really put that together. But more importantly, to my original point, like you have a lot of players who are really good at the game, making channels, making podcasts now.
I'm saying that.
And it's weird because back in the day, like most of the content creators, like they just did that. They didn't really play that much. You know, they play casually at like locals and stuff like that. And at YCS, they just kind of go around making vlogs or whatever. And now, literally the best players, the people who are topping and winning the events, are all doing content. It's crazy. Or like doing a metafy of some sort.
It's so weird saying that nowadays. It's like it used to be just like you think with back the original old school people were like MCO40, Yu-Gi-Oh Girl 2009, little one XX,
Aubrey Tan.
Yeah, Audrey did when Dale had a channel.
Yep.
Pro Winston.
Yep, definitely Jarrell.
Me, Slim, Asian Persuasion, Dub K Dad.
Oh yeah, Dub K Dad 1 is actually one of our patrons. Yep. But yeah, it's crazy how now the community has just shifted so much, and I see like a lot more podcasts popping up, and I see a lot more channels popping up, and I'm happy to see that type of stuff. Like I am not a gatekeeping kind of person. I think that it's really good to have like this is just another way that the community can grow and get bigger and bigger. Why limit ourselves and just like not have more content creators? We have people who do YouTube, you have people who do podcasts, you have people who do like Metafy. Some people who do all of it. Streaming, yep, that's another thing. You got a lot of big streamers out there too. And yeah, it's really dope to see that because at one point I thought all of that stuff was reserved for video games. Like I always had in my head that like video games would basically be the only kind of streaming that would get big as far as like, you know, Fortnite and Halo, whatever games, mostly shooting games and stuff. But I always had it in my head that like, yeah, it was just going to be the video game people. And then Yu-Gi-Oh would always have this kind of a closed off community where yeah, we'll do YouTube videos, but it's mostly just deck profiles and like pack openings because I know people fucking love that type of stuff.
I can't do it. I could never do pack openings. I think that's the boringest thing in the world is like some open packs. And then you got to do that face reactions. I can't do that.
For me personally, I can't.
I have a problem with reactions. Reactions are so often fake. Like there's like honest reactions, but then, for example, have you ever seen a music reaction, like somebody reacting to a song?
No.
It is always the fakest shit ever because they're just like aggressively bobbing their head.
Yeah,
and like nobody really listens to music like that, bobbing their head that fucking much. It's so aggressive. And then like, let's say it's a rap song. They'll say like a line and they'll go like just make like some really dumb face. And I don't know. Like I've listened to songs and like had reactions, but it's always, I don't know. It's when you watch a music reaction, you just see how fucking fake and forced it is. It's like, this content.
I agree with you on the reaction videos often being basically just clout chasing videos. I feel like oftentimes reactions are not real. Like if you're putting a camera in front of your face with the intent that you're going to watch something and like kind of react to it, unless it's something that genuinely does bring out a level of excitement out of you that you didn't expect. For example, reveals. I can understand a reveal.
Like when we did the Sora reveal.
Yes.
Like we legit.
Because that was the last character for Smash Ultimate. And so we didn't even know who it was going to be. Like there were rumors. There were definitely rumors that it was going to be Sora. But in my head, I was like, there's no fucking way Sora's coming to Smash. Like that's not real. So when you actually see the trailer, like the teaser for it, and it doesn't look like anything. Like Mario goes over to some fire. He reaches his hand in. He throws something. And then you start to see that it's a fucking Keyblade. Like that was wild because again, I just never expected in a million years that
we always voted for it.
Yes, everybody was super excited about it. So that was like a genuine reaction. But I feel like some of them, for example, like opening packs of cards to me. And again, like I love opening packs. I love getting like rare things, but I don't break my chair and like fucking knock everything off over my desk and fall out and go crazy. Like it's never that. It's never that. But yeah, what kind of videos do you like doing for YouTube, especially like back in the day when you were heavy in the content creating world?
Like for me, it was like always deck profiles. I used to like watching people's blogs because that was fun. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to blog. I'm going to try this. I'm like, nah. And then it's like, do you remember my old segment, Bitch, Please Know Your Rulings?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Rulings used to be fucking wild. I don't know if they still are, but I imagine they have to.
They are. From the judges group, I'm like, I don't judge anymore. 10 plus years, but it's like I don't judge no more. But I still look in the group. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like sometimes I should come back and bring back these old judge rulings and stuff. I'm like, I can't do it. Yu-Gi-Oh evolved too much.
You used to be a judge. I forgot all about that.
Yep.
How'd you get into that?
Do you remember Bertha, Yu-Gi-Oh girl?
I don't know why that sounds familiar, but I could not put a face to that name.
You probably do. But like, she used to judge, and like, I wanted to judge, and a lot of other people from Chicago were judging. I'm like, this seems like fun. I want to learn more about the game so I can evolve into it. And then from there, I've like started judging regionals, too many regionals, done too many demos, mall tours, judge worlds, did a couple of nationals, tons of YCS and Shonen Jumps when they were back then.
Oh, okay. I'm remembering now. It's all coming back to me. So it's crazy. This is like a decade. Okay, so we met over a decade ago, but it's all coming back to me now. You definitely used to be a judge. Like, I remember now, Cordero was so cool as a judge, because if anything was going down, Cordero would like low-key let you know. He'd be like, yo, this is how they're ruling this weekend, or like, this is what's happening. And that's why bitch know your rules was a thing, because you would find out. There were YCSs. The one I could think about that was the most absurd, or like in my memory anyway, because I'm sure there's more. But one of the rulings that was so absurd was, I think it was YCS Atlanta, one of the years, they ruled that chain disappearance went into the extra deck. So like, if you summon Dante, who has 1,000 attack from the extra deck, and I chain disappearance it would take the other Dantes out of your extra deck. And that was fucking wild. Like, that was so insane, because the card says like, yeah, banish all copies out of the deck, hand, or whatever, and then, you know, be done with it. But they somehow interpreted it for that one event that meant go in the extra deck and remove all copies. So that Friday,
hell yeah,
once people found out about that ruling, everybody was going crazy about chain disappearance.
It was Armageddon. I remember that.
Yep. Rare copies of chain disappearance were going for like $25. It was so ridiculous. And then I just had the card, and I ended up signing it and then never using it. And it was just so dumb. I hate rulings. Can just literally, you come to a tournament all prepared, and then a ruling, you hear about some crazy shit, and it just completely changes everything. Like, the whole weekend is now, I won't say ruined, but like, you have to take into consideration, because those rulings are often impactful, like very, very impactful.
Yep, because I remember. Do you remember like always like when like a new ruling would come up, and I would text you or the group chat back when we were in the ARJ, you tell everybody new ruling this or stuff, or like you're in an event, I'll tell you like, you know, this got updated like this happened like this changed this. I used to tell you everything. Yeah, that was really helpful. I mean, I literally think that sometimes I did well at events because of just knowing rulings that some people just didn't know, and that's kind of a part of being a competitor in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that the rulings change the outcome of the game so much, like even little stuff, and yeah, it makes a big difference. So I'm always thankful for those messages, those group chats and stuff like that. But yeah, you definitely were a judge. I'm thinking about you in the uniform now, like all is coming back to me. I still have it. Yeah, I still got mine too. I haven't judged a regional in a long time, because all I ever did was judge regionals. Like, I never did a YCS. I did too. I always competed. Oh no, I did YCSs. Getting those boxes. I pulled too many tour guides when tour guide was like hot. And then the mats and stuff that you guys get, the judge dinners. I always did want to do that stuff, but like, I love competing so much that it's really hard for me to give up the competitor part of, like, now it'd probably be easier for me now if I was the judge of YCS. I could totally be like, well, I don't play the game like the way I used to, so it would be very easy for me to kind of do it now. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to be a bad judge, so I would need to keep up with the game and like all the crazy rulings that the game has right now. And I don't want to do that to people where you kind of walk up to a table when they call a judge and you just have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of that. You're just there for the free product, or not free, but like you're there for the gifts and the product and the compensation. Yeah, you get paid now. You really don't get packs anymore. You get paid. Oh, that's right. Konami switched over to doing. Have you judged under the payment system? Like, have you been a judge when they switched over to that? No. I think I quit right when they was about to start. Okay. What do they pay? Like, what is it? Minimum wage, whatever the minimum wage of the state. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So in Philadelphia, unfortunately, it's really bad. But in California, where I think it's $15. I was going to say, I wonder, do you make enough money to even buy a box? You do, because the way, so you're required to be on site as a judge around like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., like really early. Try 7 o'clock. You gotta be there early. Yeah, you're there really early, Kenny. So like, but then you're there really late too. So so you're judging for me, it would be like 8 a.m. until
9 or 10 p.m. So I'm doing over 12 hours. So even with minimum wage of Philadelphia being, or like PA being $8.25 or whatever it is, I don't even know our minimum wage. I'm gonna be honest. Which sound, I guess, in one way that's kind of ignorant, but like I don't know
if it's going up. I know that it was forever like $7.80 something.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I'm not even gonna look at it. I don't even care because minimum wage is such a fucking joke at this point that like whatever it is not okay. But minimum wage in Philly is under $10, and I never judged for compensation because even before they started physically, like actually paying us real money, they would give you like, oh, a box or like 2 boxes. And then you get your $30 stipend for lunch, which I also, the stipend was crazy because $30, me personally, my lunch doesn't normally cost anywhere near that. So the fact they were always that generous, I love the fact that the stipend was that high.
That's more than they give you for jury duty.
Yeah, that's actually correct. Like jury duty gives you $10 at most. So getting $30 for a stipend for lunch was always wild to me. And then we had Reading Terminal across the street from Philly Regionals. And Reading Terminal, if you've never been there, if you've ever been in Philly, please visit that place. It's very busy. It's very like crowded area, but it's one of the best things in all of Philly as far as food goes. There's so many things to choose from. There's like Amish barbecue. There's these great cheesesteak places. There's all these desserts and stuff that I go to. There's a banana pudding lady that I love called Sweet Nina's. I just went yesterday actually to the Reading Terminal. I usually go on Saturdays and I load up. Like I buy so much random shit and I just bring it all home and eat it over the next couple days. But it's amazing. And Philly Regional is always directly across the street from that or kind of connected. And getting $30 and being able to go there and just know that like this isn't my money, I just get to spend this however I want was really fun. So judging for me was always just a fun way to still be around Yu-Gi-Oh, spend a day doing something Yu-Gi-Oh related, but not having to have my brain and anxiety focused on competing, because competing gives me anxiety. Like it just naturally has always made me like the morning of a YCS, I'm always like super nervous. Hoping that I do well, hoping that I chose the right deck, hoping that I have the right side deck cards, hoping I don't get blindsided, hoping I don't play my worst matchup. And all of those things just compound and make me like, usually my stomach hurts and I'm always, it's a whole thing. Like people don't even know, even after you top fucking 15 times, 20 times, I still, before round 1 goes up, would have butterflies in my stomach. Like I would just feel like, all right, here we go again. Can I do it again? Like, is this the last time? But you know, you get out on a high note. you get out making a 51 card homebrew and still top 16 and go YCS with that. And then
it's a good spot to dip out.
So Cordero, you again, we brought up earlier that you did top of YCS. Did you test for that event with your deck? Because again, I've never seen Magic Spectre Demise. I feel like that wasn't a popular deck. I feel like you really did kind of pioneer that shit.
You want to know the truth?
What's the truth?
I think I said it in my deck profile. I don't remember. Me and my friend Ian, shout out to you. I went to that event, did not know what I want to play, but remember Burning Abyss was like the #1 deck.
Right.
And for some odd reason, I had Magic Specters. Anybody that knows me, especially my channel, I like spellcasters, I like fairies. So I'm like, I had all the Magic Spectre cards, and I just got Demises. I'm like, I wonder if I can put these together. And then I played the only card. I don't think nobody else. No, I know for a fact nobody else did not play this. I played Pendulum Reborn, that trap card.
Yep.
I don't know if you know.
I know it has it's like, it looks like a butterfly almost. It has this really crazy symbol, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna put 3 of these in here. I'm gonna play all the Mirror Forces besides the original Drowning Mirror Force, Storming Mirror Force, so I can bounce back stuff, Tornado. Everything.
So your deck was kind
5 minutes before the tournament.
It was kind of an anti-Burning Abyss deck, right? Because it did really well in that matchup.
I didn't lose to no Burning Abyss besides Jake when I should have won.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I played 5 of them.
So you were just stomping all the Burning Abyss. What was your record in Swiss?
X1-1. I think I got in at 30th place or 31. I know I was in like the last 3 spots.
Damn. I know when they called your name, I was so fucking happy, even though I probably was a little tipsy.
You were. I remember. You were.
I had such a good time with that, despite not doing well. So I think for that event, right before it, me and Sean McCabe had topped with Cosmo Demise and at Providence. And I believe that's the event that Tamid won. So YCS Providence.
I deck profiled him.
Yes. So YCS Providence was before that. And this is when Card of Demise, like we just topped with Card of Demise. The card's crazy. And then we tried to play the same exact deck for Ohio, and it just did not. I guess people were more prepared for it. Also, Monarchs were a big deck at the time, and Monarchs just destroys Cosmo. I don't care how many cards you draw for Demise and all that. The Monarch deck just put that deck in the coffin. And I think I ended up playing Monarchs really early on. I just got destroyed. And that was like the end of my tournament. I was like, all right, well, I'm still here at a con. I'm still going to enjoy myself. And yeah, that's kind of what I did. But then when I saw that you had topped and you had made it so, far and got to a point where basically you have game, I was like, yo, if Cordero wins this event, this is going to be the craziest shit in the entire history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like that would have been the craziest thing in all of, like, honestly, in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Even Austin Coleman winning at like 11 years old, because it would have just been a content creator, like somebody who's mainly known for like judging. Also, like, judges don't usually win. I can't think of too many judges who have like won. Like they started out as a judge primarily, and then they won an actual YCS. Like I
can't think of no judge like that.
It's hard to even think about judges who topped, honestly. Like not even further than that. Like somebody who, because like I'm the opposite. I started off as a player. I won a YCS and then I started judging regional. So it's like, okay, well, you were already like a competitor before. And so now you're judging, like you just switched your uniform. But like to go the other way where you start off as a judge or start off as someone who does content, stuff like that, and then you become like a pro player or like a top player or start doing well at events. There's not much of that ever in the community.
You want to know a fun fact? When I got that top, I have never topped the regional.
Oh shit! So like that for
That's
you,
awesome.
That was big for you.
That was big.
Yeah.
Never topped the regional. I always get like top 12, top 16, but never like top 8.
Did you call your mom or text your mom and say, "Mom, I just topped the YCS"?
Hell yeah! I think I FaceTimed her because she didn't understand what was going on. She's like, "Why are you calling me?" She's like, "Concentrate and call me back when you win."
I love that. I love the supportive mom. The fact that you can call, I could not call my mom or dad. Well, no, I did talk to my dad, but my mom has no idea how anything Yu-Gi-Oh related works. Like if I said I won a tournament, she would just honestly deadpan be like, "Oh, nice, son. Like, congrats." But like she doesn't understand the gravity of what it means in our world, like how big it is. That is, in a weird way, kind of a cool thing too, because when you're in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, like we live in our own special world where a YCS and national stuff like that, these things are huge to us. Like there are Super Bowls, there are NBA championships, they're the World Series for us. But then when you leave the event and you just go back to regular life, it's like, yeah, you just existed in this world where these things are so exciting, but people on the outside have no idea what is going on. It's kind of like reading a book.
Exactly.
But yeah, you were able to talk to your mom about it. And has your mom, was she a player at any point? Like, did she used to play the game with you, or like, did she just watch the show?
She did for a quick minute. She watched the show. Like, her favorite character from the original series was mine. She liked the Harpy Ladies. And then she fell in love with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, so she liked Chaz and the whole Chaz it up speech thing.
I hate it. Oh my God, I hated GX.
My mom loved that character.
Chaz it up. I hated him.
I didn't like him.
My one friend used to play Armed Dragon. His name's Maurice. He used to play Armed Dragon. So back when GX was airing, I was always an original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series guy. So I just like Merrick and Bakura.
That was me.
And
I know it's Shan.
Yes, I always liked the original series. So when they switched over to Jaden, Yuki, and like Bastion and all those guys, I hated all of that. Like Zane was kind of cool, but even still, I just felt like he was a ripoff Kaiba.
Yep.
So then when Chaz was a character, my one friend just absolutely loved Armed Dragon. I couldn't deal, and I would go out of my way to play him and destroy him because he would just play an Armed Dragon deck. Like, and I would not let his shit evolve to the last level. Like he wanted to get to Armed Dragon level 7. I just would never let it happen.
So you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's how I am. I get off to other people. Like him not getting to do what his deck was designed to do made me happy. Like that's how fucked up of a person I was as far as like dueling goes. I just got off to that. Like that brought me happiness that he never got to see Armed Dragon level 7.
See, rude. I think me and you have the same type of like how like torturing people. Yep. I used to do the same stuff because IMNerd was my favorite character. I always, to this day, even with Digimon, I will laugh and taunt my opponent, act like the TV show character, just have fun and win.
Yeah, I mean, Merrick used to inflict mental health issues on people. Like he would attack you on a fucking psychological level. That guy was wild. But yeah,
still my favorite character. Yeah,
my favorite series is still always going to be the original anime. Not the original because if you know. That's back when Yugi used to just kill people, but the original trading card game anime. All right, so I have some questions for you as far as your life building a YouTube channel and stuff. How did you go about building a following? Like what types of things did you do to kind of set yourself apart and just like grow your channel? Because again, like I said, you have over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy that like there are 20,000 people out there who come to your channel for information, for ruling updates, for drama, for deck profiles, like all those different things that you used to talk about. How did you grow it to that level?
To be honest, to this day, I'm still surprised they grew that way for like X amount of years. It's like, for me, first is like I told you, like the original Yugi tubers was like MCO40. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this probably a lot better than Robbie and stuff. I like drama. Everybody knows I like drama. Any drama, I know about it. Any tea, rulings, I'm like, maybe I can do segments like this. And then I used to watch other, not Yugi tubers, but YouTubers. And like they had like their little sitcoms and stuff. I'm like, I can turn this into a segment. People would like this. Like, bitch, please know your rulings.
Mm-hmm.
Like my favorite YouTuber was it's Kingsley, bitch.
I used to love him. Yeah,
I remember him.
Oh, I used to love Kingsley because he appealed to a very broad audience, despite the fact that like obviously he was speaking from a very specific perspective. Like he's a gay black man, and he had like that funny sass tone, but he was just so funny because that was back in the day when like this is before Instagram and Snapchat and like all of the other things where people make content like Vine. It was before all of that, so you had like Hot Damn I Rock, Kingsley. There were a bunch of those kind of comedy channels, and they were huge back then for us. And so
that's literally how my channel evolved from that, like King Batch and stuff. You remember because back then we still had MySpace. Well, so I used to use all that stuff. MySpace. See, that's how I know I feel old.
I never had MySpace, even though I was around for MySpace, and this is definitely making us sound old as shit. But I never had a MySpace because I always got confused. Yo, for MySpace, you had the fucking right code. You had the
you did have the right code.
You learned coding through MySpace.
Yo, MySpace taught kids HTML for real.
Yes, people were doing the I never understood, and it's not that I couldn't learn. I just did not. It didn't interest me to have my page playing like Chingy or Chameleonaire or whatever fucking people. When you go on people's channel, there would just be music playing. I hated it so much because every page I went to, so I'm from Philly, and all of the Philly girls back when MySpace was a thing would just have like Philly's baddest bitch or just like Philly's hottest, and I couldn't stand it. It was such a standard thing. It was just not for me. I never liked MySpace, but I understand the appeal of it. And then I remember all the drama with people having like their top 8, your closest friends, like your top 8 friends. Was it called top 8? I feel like it was called
top 8, top 4. And if you didn't have them in your top 8, top 4, they'll be calling you say, why am I not in your top 8? Why am I not in your top 16?
So much drama with that shit. I never appreciated that. I never liked it. Top 8 for me was always just Yugioh. I'd rather just top that rather than being somebody's top 8 for friendship. I didn't give a fuck about none of that. So for me, I literally just didn't make a MySpace. And every time I would try to go to someone's MySpace page, it would take forever to load because the internet just wasn't what it is now back in the day. So you click on somebody's MySpace, and depending on how much nonsense they have on their page, it could literally take you like 2 minutes before their page fully shows itself. It was too much. It was way too much for me. But that's some like super boomer shit now. Like we are so far past that. I was very happy when Facebook became a thing because Facebook is standardized. Everyone's page looks exactly the same. You can't do anything special about it. And while that may be boring, that's just kind of the person that I am when it comes to, I guess, viewing things. Like I prefer standardization across the board as opposed to you get to customize what music is going to blast out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. It was just wild. MySpace was a wild place. Anyways, so you grew your channel by having different segments, being motivated and inspired by things like Kingsley, King Batch, and stuff like that, which makes sense. Like those were a lot of the content creators back in the day. And yeah, you were early to this game, and now 10 years later, like I said, everyone is pretty much doing it. Like it's everywhere. Like we're growing our YouTube channel. I think we have like 300 subscribers on there, a little over 300. So if you guys are listening to this, help us out by subscribing to the IMNerd Podcast YouTube channel. We upload clips to that right now, which are taken from our Patreon, where you can see video versions of the podcast. So if you like video versions of the podcast or full length videos, if you want to see right now, like Cordero actually has his camera on. A lot of our guests don't have our actual setup. So this is nice that we get to actually see him. I see in the background.
I was going to say, I wanted to ask him about some of the shit he's got going on in the background. First of all, I love the crown. I noticed you wear a crown on your Discord picture.
Yep.
Love the crown.
Nice.
What's the story on the crown?
But it was around the time of COVID. My friend Donnie and my friend Soul, they took me out for my birthday, like first time ever going out, with COVID and all this stuff. It was my birthday, and my friend Soul, she got me a crown. She you're a queen and you deserve something like that. So she got this crown.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, the crown's sick. And then I love the Nintendo Switch. And then on top,
I was playing that earlier.
You've got, I think, every Eevee plushie back there. Like all the evolutions.
All the Eevees are right there. Yep.
And you have a bunch of big ass Pikachus too.
Yep. The Anniversary Pikachu, the Build-A-Bear, the Build-A-Bear Eevee, a Galarian Moltres, Pumpkaboo for Halloween.
Is Eevee or one of the Eevee evolutions your favorite Pokemon?
To be honest, everybody thinks that Umbreon is my favorite because Fraser remembers I have an Umbreon hoodie.
Yep.
Umbreon used to be my favorite.
Cool. I remember seeing some Umbreon hoodies. They're sick. Like an Umbreon hoodie works. Like a Jolteon hoodie would be a little extra, but like an Umbreon hoodie, you could just wear.
I have that hoodie.
You have a Jolteon hoodie? Oh my god!
Oh, not a Jolteon. I was going to buy that hoodie, but I didn't. I got the Umbreon hoodie, and then I have a Pokemon trainer jacket.
I agree with you though, Kenny. Like Umbreon hoodie does work because it's black and it's not too much. Ooh.
Yeah. If you play Pokemon Shield and Sword, you guys know what this is. My friend bought
it. That's dope as fuck.
That is, and that shit's custom too. So Cordero just showed us a custom jacket with like, Cordero 666 and everything on it, basically inspired by Sword and Shield.
Yeah, the jerseys they would wear.
Yep. The old Umbreon hoodie. I used to wear it at every event. Fraser remembers this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
So you've always been unapologetically you, which is one of the things that I really respect about you, because it's honestly scary to just be, again, unapologetically yourself sometimes in this world because of just like criticism and people, people are shitty. Like, and just to put it bluntly, like I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Literally on my steps. And, I lived in a row house like when I was growing up. So there were a bunch of neighbors that are like right there, right? Like there's not a separation when you live in a row home. And, people come out and they see like you and your friends playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And they would tease us. Like they would just straight up be like, oh, you guys are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I got that dark magician. I got that blue. The stupid ass voice that people say like, oh, I got blue eyes. And then they like, as they're like walking away, they would be saying like nonsense like that, which is like not, I guess it is a form of teasing. We never really cared though. Like honestly, I've always had pretty thick skin. So I never was afraid to like be a Yu-Gi-Oh player and embrace that I was a nerd. I would play my Game Boy in public. Like I didn't give a fuck. People were like, oh, you're playing Pokemon. Like I was a teenager playing Yu-Gi-Oh, playing Pokemon, never cared. So I just love to see other people who are like that, where they're just like, this is how I am. I don't care how you guys feel about it. Like this makes me happy. This is what I'm going to do. And that's pretty much always like, I never felt the need to like hide. Like I remember some of my friends growing up would like hide the fact they play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
My mom taught me not to even pay attention to people like that. They like, my mom, she used to tell me, if people used to like tease you and stuff, they only do that stuff because they jealous of what you have.
Yeah, because they can't be themselves. Like it's.
I just want to say, your mom sounds awesome.
She does. Like straight up, your mom is fucking insane. So shout out to Cordero's mother, who was it her birthday recently?
Yep. Yeah, you like the post. Like you said happy birthday on the post too on Facebook.
I did,
her birthday was October 3rd.
Like I've never met this woman before, but I just feel like I've heard so much about her. And she sounds
she knows you though. I talk about you.
I mean, I know. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I feel like we low-key have like a weird, like, I know about you, you know about me, even though we've never met kind of thing, right? Because like me and you have been close for literally over a decade.
Yeah, she just sounds really cool and really supportive. Like, she sounds dope.
That's the best thing you could ask for.
I would bring her in here, but she's at work.
The best thing you could ask for is supportive parents, especially when you're growing up as a nerd or like somebody who's like different from, what society considers normal. I always say, what's normal anyway? Like we're just, we are the way we are. But okay, let's transition into Digimon, because this is what has taken up your interest in the last couple of years. This is what caused you to give up on Yu-Gi-Oh and go into a new world. The Digimon trading card game, I actually watched a tutorial video last night so that I could try to understand. And I found out that Digimon plays very similar to other card games that I've played, like Duel Masters.
Yes.
It has a lot of the same systems where you have shields, but they call them security checks.
Yep.
And then creatures, they tap, so they go sideways when they attack. And then you are allowed to attack a creature once it's tapped, which is like a Duel Masters concept as well. Mm-hmm. When somebody loses all of their security cards, so you start the game off and you take the top 5 cards of your deck, and those are like your security cards, and there's 5 of them. And then a person is allowed to attack either your monsters that are tapped, or they can attack the security cards. And when there are no more security cards, or like in Pokemon, they're like prize cards, right? Same type of thing as that. When there are no more of those, I can attack you directly and then I win the game.
Yep.
And there's other win conditions, and I've learned all this just last night. There's other win conditions like deck out is a win condition, and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I actually could technically play Digimon. Like I feel like it wouldn't be too hard for me to pick up because I played games similar to this.
Let me ask real quick. When somebody attacks your security check, and then you get the card. Like you lose a security check, but it goes to you, right?
Yeah. So the person who got attacked on their security card, you flip it over, and if it has a security check activation at the bottom, so some of them have actual effects where it's like, oh, because this card was a security card, when it got flipped, it does something. So it'll be like kill a guy.
I like that a lot because one of the problems I don't have with Pokemon is that Pokemon has like a win more mechanic where if I kill your Pokemon, I get a prize card. So like I have my list of prize cards, I kill your guy, and then I get a prize for killing your guy. Whereas I feel like if I kill your guy, maybe you should get the prize card because...
So, you know what's cool about what you just said, Kenny? I always talk about how Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, they're some of the earliest trading card games to ever exist. And because they're some of the earliest ones, they're very flawed, naturally. Like, Pokemon games can end because you just didn't open correctly and you didn't have a Pokemon to put out. You just lose the game.
Yeah.
But, like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, that just should not... And the same thing what you just said about the prize cards is, like, why is it that you're winning the game and you're getting rewarded for winning the game as opposed to...
I kill your Pokemon. So you go down a Pokemon and I get another card. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's so weird because it gets corrected, again, card games that came out afterwards. So after Magic the Gathering, where Magic's flaw is land. Like, land is fundamentally flawed. The whole resource system of Magic where you have to draw cards that specifically are land to play, to even be able to play the game, is a problem. And then, like, Pokemon, you need energies in these specific cards. Duel Masters corrected the problem with Magic. Every single card in your deck can be used as land. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, you're allowed to put it in your back row, and that is your mana, and you can tap that mana. And then later on, power creep happens, and you're able to start doing things that grab cards out of your mana zone. So there'll be a guy that comes into play. Like, when this card comes into play, add a card from your mana zone to your hand. And that's broken. Because it means that, like, oh, normally when you put a card in early Duel Masters, you put a card back there in your mana zone, and, like, it will be gone forever. Like, that's just... But then, obviously, with power creep and Yu-Gi-Oh! And every card game, your graveyard, your banish pile starts to become a resource that you can toolbox from. So yeah, Digimon is decent because the security cards or whatever, when they go away, like when you attack them, the person who lost the card, like it goes to their hand. So your opponent is basically getting closer to getting an out to your field or like getting more resources on you. So that way they have like a way to come back. So the game goes back and forth as opposed to like, I killed your Pokemon and therefore I get more card advantage. Like, how is that okay?
Yeah. But the only thing is though, like with the security effects, I'm trying to pop out a card to show you. Like certain cards, like this one, Calling from Darkness, it has a security effect at the bottom. Yep. They'll say add to your hand. If it doesn't say like add to your hand, it goes to trash. Or this one, I know you guys know Beelzemon. Yep. This one says activate the first main effect up here. So you activate that effect and then it goes to the trash.
Okay, so they don't literally go to your hand after they get attacked.
Unless the option card actually says go to your hand.
Gotcha.
But because so the way it works is when you start the game, you put like your top 5 cards or 4 into the security zone.
Top 5 to security, and then you draw 5 cards. And then if you go first, you cannot draw.
Yep.
So every card, but I'm assuming every Digimon card has a security effect just written on it.
Not all of them. Well, some of them do. Some of them have like an effect that says like when it comes out of security, you can bring it to the field. Those are like newer cards that are just coming out now.
And this is why this reminds me of Duel Masters so much, or Kaijudo for people who know about that name. Duel Masters, in that game, certain cards had shield triggers. So instead of being called security cards, they were called shields. And you start the game off with 5 shields. You take your top 5 cards at the beginning of the game, you put them down to shields, and you draw 5. Literally the exact same thing as Digimon. It's so relatable. And as the cards get attacked, you flip them over, and if they have a shield trigger, it activates. So some of the shield triggers will be like draw 2 cards, which obviously is crack.
There's cards like that.
And the way shield triggers worked in Duel Masters was really cool because the card would have the effect. So that card that had that shield trigger already says draw 2 cards when you play from your hand. And then the shield trigger just says activate the effect of it like a quick play. There was one called Terror Pit. Terror Pit was a 6-drop black card, and it said destroy any creatures on the field. Like, it didn't have to be tapped or anything. It's just destroy a creature on the field. So it was really good because that kind of removal is like kind of unheard of. Like, just such a kill anything. It doesn't matter if it's tapped or not. A lot of cards that destroy would say like kill a tapped creature or kill an exhausted.
I did not know that you were such a Duel Masters fan.
Oh, Duel Masters took over for me for like, as you can tell, for a while. I was really big into it. Because Yu-Gi-Oh got shit. And every time Yu-Gi-Oh gets shit, I tend to go to another card game. So I end up playing Magic that way too. Yeah. So you went to Digimon, but yes, shield triggers were broken because like Terror Pit is a 6-drop. So it's kind of a lot to cast. Like 6 is a pretty high cost in any resource game, I feel like, because you can only play 1 mana per turn. So 6 is a lot. But when you attack my shield and it just activates as a shield trigger for free, that's kind of ignorant. Like, just kill your guy, like straight up with it has no cost at that point because it's a shield trigger, is broken.
But Digimon plays a memory gauge instead.
Yeah, so explain to me how the memory gauge works. I saw it goes from like 1 to 10. I don't really quite get it.
Okay, it's like each side, it starts at 0. When you start the match off, do the 5 security thing, and then you start at 0. So say like I go first. You put a Digimon in the breeding area, digivolve that. Every time you digivolve, you draw a card. So you digivolve, you draw a card, and then if you want to play something, what's the Digimon there? Here's Beelzemon. It's a 12 cost. If you want to play this, you have to put it on the field, and then you go over to your opponent's turn. So if you go past 0, it's your opponent's turn. So you always want to try to memory choke them. I think Naruto was like that.
So everybody starts you both start the game off with 10 in the memory gauge thing?
Yeah. No, you start at 0. The die literally sets at 0. But each, like, I have 10 on my side and my opponent has 10 on there. So if I play a Digimon that costs 3 and I'm at 0, opponent goes to 3. But if you don't do nothing for your turn and pass over your opponent automatically gets 3.
Oh, I get it. So you start at 0, and then every time, so like if you play 3 on your turn 1, on my turn 1, I end up starting with 3 instead of starting with 0.
And then if I want to play like hard cast the Digimon at 4, I can put you to 1 from there. 3 go all the way to 1. It goes like that. And then they have memory tamers. Tamers are like TK, Kari. They have an effect that says on the start of your turn, you automatically start at 3. So you don't have to be at 0, like, when your opponent ends their turn and stuff, or you be locked at 1. So they got the depth. You got, in this game, you got Digimon, you have Tamers, and you have Digitamas. But Digitamas can't attack nobody. They're always in the breeding area. They're like Digi-Eggs.
So I saw that the Digi-Egg mechanic is optional. Like, you don't even have to have Digi-Eggs.
You don't have to have Digi-Eggs in there, but put it like, if you don't have Digi-Eggs, you can't start building a line of Digivolution in the back so you can bring it up to the battle area to attack somebody.
Okay, so in order to evolve from, let's say I have Agumon and I want to become Greymon and then I want to become Metal Greymon, how do I do that?
Okay, like, you start like on your turn when you have like the Digitama, you flip it over, and then you only can Digivolve the same color. So if you're playing like multiple colors, so you got a red Digi-Egg in the back and you have like a blue card, you can't Digivolve on top of that. It got to be the same color.
Right.
So like from there, like if you have Agumon, like every rookie, when you Digivolve off a Digi-Egg has 0 cost. So you're not paying no memory when you do it. You just Digivolve, Pagumon into Agumon for free. Then if you want to Digivolve the Greymon, Greymon's going to cost you 2. You go Digivolve Agumon into Greymon, draw a card, go lose 2 memory. So you'll be at 1. Then you want to Digivolve to Metal Greymon or anything. You can Digivolve anything. You don't have to be like the pure lines off TV show. Like Angemon, Magna Angemon, Serapimon. You can Digivolve any red card on there.
Okay, so it doesn't have to go from Agumon to Greymon to Metal Greymon. It can go Agumon
it can do anything.
Angemon if he was red.
Yeah, if he was red.
So do people just play monocolor? Is that how? Like, what's the kind of the best deck? Is it multiple colors or is it just like one color?
Right now, because the new set actually drops today, it's a pre-release I'm going to later tonight. The best deck. I don't know if you watched Digimon Cross Wars.
I don't think I watched that one.
I watched the first
seasons. Yeah, I don't think I watched Cross Wars.
Yeah, Cross Wars is like, it's going to be like the #1 deck, and literally you can use like any color Digivolution off the sources.
Oh no! So this game is getting power crept.
Yeah, it's power crept.
I heard
literally whenever a set comes out, always the new sets always trumples the past sets.
Okay, so basically, in order to sell like the next product, they make sure that it's pretty stronger than whatever was the meta in the last pack. Okay, I mean that's normal. Like,
structure like that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's just how card games tend to get. Like, I know Dragon Ball's Super was basically the same thing, where it started off really tame, and then over time they just get ridiculous. How does it work with ban lists or set rotations? Like, what do they do to kind of stop things from being too much?
Okay, like for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not like how like they ban like what's that Chaos Ruler, whatever, like cards like that. Yeah,
they ban Hauka Fibrax, Chaos Ruler, Ronin Totem, Fairy Tail Snow, all that stuff. Yep.
Yeah, like for Digimon, they'll ban like a specific color from like a deck. Like for me, I'm always a yellow player because yellow mechanic is healing and like DP reduction. Like, okay, if you like blow up a Digimon, you drain them of their attack power by like 10,000. That's my deck or whatever. So they hit a card called Jet Silthymon. When she comes out, you can play her for 1. You evolve, you draw, you heal, and then from there you can Digivolve into a Mega. And they got rid of her. They got rid of like Power Crept like Blue. back then blue was like the control deck.
Blue is
I honestly think you would be a blue player. Kenny, I think could be a red player for aggro.
I am all.
I can see it.
Well, I'll just have you know.
How'd you know? Is it because of the barbarian hair?
Yes.
I will have you know, I was always a blue player in Magic and also in Duel Masters Kaijudo, because, like you said, blue typically is counter Magic, in Magic the Gathering is counter Magic and it's draw. And so it's naturally like control based, and it's very slow. It's very methodical. Whereas red, I've played red deck wins before just to see how it was, and it's not for me, but that shit kills you so quick. Like,
I'd be a red player. I don't know how he knew, but he's right.
I'm over here trying to set up with my blue-white deck and just going really slow, like trying to set up my Wall of Omens and all this stuff, and just wall up, play Spreading Seas, fuck up your mana pool, just control the game, draw cards, counter you when you do something I don't like. And meanwhile, red deck wins is like, turn 1, summon this god that can attack immediately. Like, it doesn't have summon sickness, just like straight up attack. And then turn 2, like summon another guy that's bigger than that guy. And then turn 3, summon Ball of Lightning, which is it has 6 attack, so it does 6 damage, and you only get 20. Summon Ball of Lightning, and I think he has haste, and he kills himself after he attacks. He's like rush you down, lightning bolts, and all that stuff. So people who know what I'm talking about, red deck wins back in the day. I played in 2010, so that's the kind of deck I'm referencing. Is there any kind of rush down strategy? Is like red aggro as well in Digimon?
Yeah, I'll tell you the colors. Like red is like pure like rush attack. Blue is control, stunning, and drawing cards. That's why I said always. Like that.
Yep.
Purple, which I have right here. I also play purple. Purple is more like destruction, memory control, gaining, reviving Digimon back. Black is de-digivolving your opponent.
Oh, shit.
And I'm missing color. Green is more like skipping evolutions. Like you can like do cheap evolution costs and go up to your mega like really, really fast.
That's how it's basically the same thing in Magic and Duel Masters. Is like kind of acceleration, like mana acceleration. Really good.
Yeah, those are all of them. And then white is just like a generic thing. It's mostly like for mega level and D Reaper. If you guys watch season 3 of Digimon, you know there's no D Reaper.
Yeah. So
I like fast play styles. I've played other play styles, but like when I used to play competitive Pokemon, not the card game, the video game, one of my favorite teams was hyper offense style teams, because I either won very fast or lost very fast. Like some people were trying to stall and make the game go 30 turns.
Yeah.
I had no time for that. I was either going to kill you in 5 turns.
Did you play VGC?
No, I played the Smoggin rules.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did that too.
Yeah, I played competitive Pokemon from Gen 3. My favorite generation was Gen 4 in terms of competitive.
Yes.
But I started in Gen 3. Gen 4 is my absolute favorite. And then I played Gen 5 and Gen 6. And I didn't really like Generation 7 at all. And that's where I stopped.
Everything I know about Pokemon comes from Kenny, like competitive Pokemon anyway.
But so you guys not excited about Scarlet and Violet?
I am. I'm getting it day one. I think Scarlet and Violet is cool. I love the fact that there's going to be actual co-op play, like that you can do. Like you can play through the entire game co-op, which is so interesting. Like,
I like that.
Yeah, so I might hit you up. I'm like, yo, you want to jump on? Like,
oh hell yeah,
dude. I'm getting Scarlet. I'm getting both because I'm getting one for me and one for my brother.
I'm getting the dual packs. I'll have them both.
Yeah, since Sun and Moon, I've always gotten a Pokemon game for myself, and I live with my brother, and I get one for my brother too.
So these Pokemon games, they're coming out next month, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I'm waiting for God.
And your birthday too.
My birthday's next month. I'll be at YCS Pasadena and Cali. My flight just got booked, so.
Oh, you just did it.
Yep. So I actually will be there, just like enjoying Cali, and it's kind of a birthday trip for me. I'm being treated to it by one of my literally closest friends, Xavier. So shout out to X. Thank you for that. And yeah, I went to Pasadena in January when that one was canceled. We still went and just had a good time. And I'm expecting basically to do the same thing. Like, I don't even know how the new Yu-Gi-Oh world works with the whole COVID thing and like vaccine.
Oh, I can tell you.
How does it work?
Since I went to nationals, I was actually a vendor. First time being a vendor.
So you've done it all.
I've done it all now. I had never done vending. Been event staff, judging, vendor, a player, done it all. But yeah, all you got to do is just have your mask and have your COVID cards, and then they give you like a special wristband.
Okay, because I do have my vaccination card. I have everything I need, I think, to get in, but I won't be competing in a main event. I'll play if they have Edison side events, which I think they might.
They better have that because they didn't have that at Nationals.
Yeah, I think they might have because I know in LA or like in the LA area, there are regionals that have Edison side events. So I'm hoping that they have something like that there. That would be really cool. But I was planning to go and like maybe play side events, stuff like that, and maybe just like see people hang out. But I'm not going to play, so I don't think I need to like pre-register, right?
No, you don't need to do none of that.
Okay, good.
I want to say something out loud about Edison side events and everything. This will never happen, and if it does, it'll be like 30 years from now. And I'm happy that Yu-Gi-Oh is slowly getting like the Edison train going. But I was talking to Fraser about this the other day. I would love if they made a fractured form. Like, so if anybody knows, there's this game called RuneScape. I never really played RuneScape, but I know about it. RuneScape like evolved and became what it was. But eventually, like people didn't like where RuneScape went. So they went all the way back, and the official people created this thing called old school RuneScape, where it's like how old RuneScape was back in the day. But it wasn't just that. It ended up evolving in that direction. So it took like the tenets of what old school RuneScape was, and it's now a current game with new updates, but completely branched. So anyway, how sick would it be if they went back to like Edison format, and then they were like, all right, we're going to like evolve this game and add cards to that card pool and ban cards and progress it, but progress it in line with this format and this style of Yu-Gi-Oh.
It would honestly be really cool if Edison format got modified. I was actually thinking about this, and we were talking about this recently too, about a modified Edison format, because there are problems in every format of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like there's no such thing as a perfect format. And so like, Edison format has Trap Dust Shoot, it has Brain Control. There's just like Black Whirlwind is pretty insane. Like, there's just a lot of cards in that format that are like Future Fusion is absolutely fucking nuts. It's more so Future Fusion with 5-headed dragon, I think, is the scary one. Like I don't really mind Future Fusion for Absolute Zero and stuff like that. Specifically, Future Fusion for 5-headed dragon is absolutely cracked. Like it's just not okay. So there's a lot of stuff that could make Edison format more enjoyable and more skillful. And it would be cool if at some point the community decides to do a modified, like we all agree upon it, right? Because right now, I mean, it kind of is just it's a community run project anyway. Like it's already like Edison is not really official by Konami. Like they don't call it Edison format. It's just called Time Wizard format. And then they say ban list March 2010 or whatever, right? Like they don't refer to it like we refer to. We named it Edison format. Like, so
we need our own Smoggin community.
Yeah, there needs to be a community, and there is an Edison Discord and stuff like that. But I don't think that they ever really, or I don't know, this could be completely wrong. I don't know if they ever discuss banning cards, because essentially here's how I feel. So any old format of Yu-Gi-Oh is locked to that time period, is locked to that card pool forever. Like it's just always going to be that. And while there is beauty and everything, and like there's beauty in that, is the fact that it's not going to change. And one of my friends who now plays Edison, I never seen him duel before. I've known him for years. He's a fighting game. He's from the FGC, so he plays in the fighting game community. He now goes to locals every single Thursday. Shout out to Veda. He goes to locals every single Thursday to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Edison format. He said the reason why I never played.
Like, does he play Marvel 3 or used to play Marvel 3? Oh, I know him.
His long hair, Veda Golf.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's one of the best fighting game players in Philly, but he never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Seriously. He always played it casually with his friends and stuff like that. But he said, I never played seriously because I can't keep up with the ban list and the products. Like he's like, I didn't have like when we were younger, he was like, I didn't have all the resources to keep up with this fucking game. Like it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a lot, and especially how expensive it was, and just how you need to keep changing your deck. Like they can completely invalidate your deck. Like one day or 1 month, your deck is the best deck, and then the next month it's unplayable. And you could try to keep playing it, but then you won't have a pleasant experience when you're just losing every round. So you're forced to change your deck. And he's like, I just could never get around that. But now the Edison is a thing. He loves it because anything he buys is like, this is going to forever be like playable, and I can switch decks, and the decks are really cheap, which is also great for everybody. Like I always tell people, Edison format costs nothing. It either costs everything or it costs nothing. You can max your deck out and it costs you thousands of dollars, right? Like you can get Ulti Dark Arm, you can get like the best Ulti Future Fusion First Edition, baby. Ulti Brain Control,
common Dark Arm,
Ulti Pot of Avarices. You can get everything Ulti in First Edition and Starlight Rare Stratos. Yep. You can make your deck cost thousands, or you can make your deck cost literally $40. And so those things are all great about the format, and I really love them. But then it's like at some point it can become stale because it's not changing. The card pool never changes. There's no new cards introduced. It just will forever be this balance, this card pool. And it will be kind of cool to say, okay, let's take the format, but then let's start to modify it. So every, 3 or 4 months, maybe 4 months, because I like it to be a little longer. Every 4 months, there will just be changes in the format though, and it won't be like adding cards. They won't add like Trishula to it, because then it's just like what's happening. But it will be like this card is now banned, or this card is at 1, and those kind of changes will happen. And just like minor tweaks like that that'll make the game, I feel like, keep it fresh. Because even us who have been playing Edison format since January of 2022, it's gotten boring. And now we're starting to play like other card games. We're playing DC again. Like in my friend group, they don't really play Edison as much, because it's just like, yeah, we've played it so much. We've gone through all the decks. And there's so many decks, but we've gone through like literally 20 different decks, all of us. Everyone has played so many different decks. And at a point, it just gets to you're just like, all right, I've gone as far as I can with this. I've been brain controlled. I've been bottomless. I've been torrented as many times as I can handle. Like, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, you want to do some new stuff.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we are. But I did have questions about the Digimon trading card game before we completely like wrap up with that. Then I want to talk to you about the anime. So the Digimon trading card game, when creatures come into play, do they have summon sickness? Like, can they attack immediately? Or they do?
They do got summon sickness, unless they have an effect as Rush, where they have they can like dual master speed attacker.
Yep.
Rush is the same mechanic where they can attack the turn their
summon.
I
bet
what do they call it in Digimon? Because it's not called summoning sickness, I assume. I assume it's called like data upload or some shit.
The funny thing is, we just call it summoning sickness. I actually don't even know what the term is for it, because I just call it summoning sickness.
Yeah.
I've been calling it summoning sickness in every game that has that mechanic where you can't attack. I don't know what it's formally called in all of them, because I played multiple games like that. But yeah, I was happy that
that term's from Magic, and then everybody else just uses that term.
Yeah, right. And Magic is the elder, right? It's pretty much the oldest trading card game. I'm sure that somebody's gonna be like, well, no, there was one before Magic, but no one. Yeah. Anyway, Magic is like the eldest trading card game, and a lot of terms derive from that. Like, I still hear people say, "Are you on the draw or on the play?" And when I first heard that coming from Yugioh. Like, when I went from Yu-Gi-Oh to play Magic, and they were like, are you going to play or are you going to draw? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. I'm going first. And I was like, I'm going first. And I would just always say that. And the Yu-Gi-Oh, the Magic players would be kind of annoyed with me, because I would use Yu-Gi-Oh terms in their game and just completely disregard when they were trying to teach me like the Magic terms. So they say play or draw, and I'm just like, I'm going first. Like, I don't got to. And people be like, I'm going to play. I'm like, I don't know.
Why are we complicating this shit? I'm going first.
Yeah, I think universally, you know what it means by saying I'm going first. Like, that cannot possibly get misconstrued.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But okay, so Digimon trading card game, how would you rate the skill to luck ratio? Like, what are the things that make the Digimon trading card game, like, what are the lucky interactions? I assume it has something to do with the security checks. Can they like completely destroy a game?
Yes. Like, there's a card that is a dual color. Yellow purple's my favorite option card, called Chaos Degradation. It has the power.
It has chaos in its name, so
yeah, it has chaos. It's basically, if you remember Angelomon and Lady Devimon, that's their DNA form. The card literally looks like the card literally looks like the Mastimon is doing a command mail wave. But basically, that card basically says when you activate it, you get to take one of your opponent's Digimon on the field and put it either on the top or bottom of their security, and then you get to discard the top of their security stack.
Holy shit.
Say that one more time. What does it do?
Okay, when you activate the card, you take a Digimon from your opponent's side, put it. You or your opponent can choose. Do you want to put it on the top of their security stack or the bottom of their security? And then you get to take their top card or their security and discard it.
Yeah, so they're either going to discard that card because they put it on top, or they put it on the bottom and discard a random card.
Yep.
Shit.
And that is a shield trigger type of card. So it's
or if you want, you can just hard activate it.
Yep, because and that's the good thing. Every shield trigger type of card also can just be played manually. What's the cost of it if you play it?
8.
So it's high.
It's high, but if you get it off security, because there's like the deck I also play is yellow purple, and a lot of healing, so you can probably like take the card from the top of your deck and place it in your security, shuffle your security around. You don't know what's in there, but if you do get it in there, it's like game over for your opponent.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
So it sounds like you win by, clearing all the security, make sure they don't have any Digimon, and you kill them. So what does healing do?
Healing just raise your shields up higher to save you, and then if you have like security options in there, like the security effects, it just helps you if they get triggered when your opponent attacks. So it'll make your opponent be afraid to attack you.
So healing is adding a shield, like a security check thing over on. So you start out with 5, but let's say your opponent killed 2 of them, so you only have 3 left. You can heal back up to 5.
Yep, you can go higher than that. I think I made my security go up to 11.
Okay, that is a concept that is not lost on me. That was actually in Duel Masters too. Now that I remember, I forgot, but you could add shields.
Holy All.
Oh, Holy All was crazy. That taps every creature.
Yep.
Yeah, and then creatures can only be attacked when they are tapped, but then they power crept that too, and then they started making creatures that said this guy can attack untapped creatures.
Mm-hmm. They got cards like that, and that actually a red mechanic that can do that.
Of course, it's red. The card is red that I'm thinking about in Digimon in Duel Masters as well. It was called Vexacus Dragon.
I remember that.
Vexacus Dragon is one of the most unfair fucking cards. He was huge, so his attack, I want to say it was like either 8,000 or 13,000. It was high. He was high. He was a speed attacker. Every end phase, he returned to your hand, and he could attack untapped creatures, and he was a double breaker. So like he did way too much. So basically, I could just go tap eight mana, summon Vexacus, attack your guy that you just put out that has summoning sickness, like attack it and kill it, because usually you can't attack a guy that's untapped, but like he does, and he's a speed attacker, so he just comes out, kills your guy, go back into my hand. It's like a crazy ass Ashura Priest. It's like unreal how good that card was. But yeah,
for Digimon, we don't have like a security attack or double breaker. This calls security attack +1. Like when your Digimon attacks, you just do 2 checks, or security attack +2, do 3 checks. Shit.
So they do it, yeah. So instead of calling a double breaker or triple breaker, they just call it like security check +1.
+2, yeah. Plus your initial attack +1 more, +2 more, 3 more.
I got
it. And red has a whole bunch of that. That's why I said Kenny would like that.
Yeah.
So I would.
Red's trying to get that shit over with quick. So
I'm trying to kill you.
What's the best? Is there a best deck? Like, do formats get defined by like a specific deck?
Yep, format. Literally when a new set comes out, the format changes completely. Like last format was like this blue deck. Like I said, you would like it. But blue stuns your opponent from attacking. A lot of draw cards, couple game memory, and now it's like this deck called Cross Hearts, where basically you can just like DNA Digivolve like all these Digimon from your tamers, because tamers will be in the back row. Now you can just like put Digimon on tamers, save them. It's like they're about to die. Oh no, they have this effect called save. You put them under a tamer, then you can just tap the tamer, bring them back out, and join them all into one Digimon. And that's literally what this set is going to be for like 2 months. Because for Digimon compared to Yu-Gi-Oh, sets drop like every month and a half, 2 months, unless they don't get delayed with shipping.
Oh wow, they're making
fast.
Money.
We're literally almost caught up to Japan.
Wow,
by one set, by one side set.
Does that happen in Japan too? Like every month, 2 months, they drop a new set in Japan.
Yep.
Oh, so
Digimon only been out for a year now, and we're literally almost caught up to them. We're only missing one side set and then one main set.
I get what you're saying, Kenny. You're wondering if eventually when we catch up to Japan, if that ever happens, will they consistently still be dropping sets every 2 months?
Or will it slow down?
Yeah.
Like how often do they drop a set in Japan?
Yeah.
Like every 2 months.
Yeah, so that's pretty fast. That's really fast. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh has gotten fast too, though. Yu-Gi-Oh has accelerated, and it took me a while to realize this, but I keep hearing people say I'm going to a preview or this new thing is dropping. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh literally drops something, I feel like, every month. Like
that's crazy.
Something to change the meta slightly or drastically, like this new set. Something
that shit that Veda was talking about, man. It's too much money, too much time to have to do something every month. Like,
yeah, literally.
Let me build my deck.
Yu-Gi-Oh has something coming out every single month now. For the last literally 12 months of me playing Edison, or like I haven't been playing Edison for 12 months, but like for the last 9 months of me playing Edison, every single month there's a new product. Like, okay, for example, before Nationals, there was that the Mako Tsunami thing, and that introduced an entire meta deck called Marine Cess that actually ended up getting top 4 at Nationals. And that set came out right before Nationals. And then before that was a new pack. And then before that was like another little structure deck type of thing. And it's like a bunch of just things that just add and change up the meta enough to where you have to understand what just happened, because otherwise you can get left behind. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how fast things are happening and coming out. And then you have main sets too. Because I used to think like, oh, this is a main set or this is not a main set. But come to find out, like some of these sets are not even, some of the sets that I think are main sets in Yu-Gi-Oh are just like little side sets where they don't have all the secrets and stuff.
I just want to build a Guilmon deck or an Agumon deck.
Oh yeah, you would like Gallantmon. Gallantmon, it actually was a side set that just came out previously. Now the deck is like, it's not that good no more, but I noticed in Digimon, any deck can win, but like the main tier S decks are the ones that are like,
yeah, for sure.
That's always a thing. So as far as the anime goes, did you grow up watching the anime as well, Cordero?
Yes, I did.
What's your like favorite arc or season of Digimon?
People might hate me for this. I still like the original.
Me too.
But I like season 3. I like Tamers.
Season 3 is with Guilmon and Renamon, right?
Yep, Guilmon.
Yeah,
Renamon,
that season's fire. I've only seen
that season's dark.
I've only seen all the way through the original, like I'm gonna name by the flagship guys. So I've seen the Agumon seasons. Yep. I've seen the Vmon seasons. Yep. And the Guilmon seasons. Yeah. I've seen all of the episodes for that. Then after that, I've seen like scattered episodes of stuff. I haven't really seen a full.
So you didn't
season.
See the next one after Frontiers when they Digivolve, where they turn into the Digimon.
Yes.
So I've seen episodes of it, but I never watched it all the way through.
So low key, Frontier is my favorite season of Digimon. I was a bit older when that one came out because that one comes out like obviously later. I think it's the 4th season, I guess, or whatever.
Yep. You watched it on JetX.
I did. I love that
one. I remember that. That's where it came on. That's where I saw episodes of
those transformations got so fucking epic. Like I remember at first they used to just transform into the same exact Digimon every single time, which got kind of boring. Eventually they started to evolve, of course, because Digimon. And I remember when everyone got their second transformation. Oh my
Beast Spirit.
God, yes, the Beast Spirit. And the way the transformation, so like they did CG in the anime for their transformation. So you would see them like, and like their face would be like screaming and like their face getting stretched up, kind of like Majora's Mask. They would start transforming and it would look so crazy when they do their like beast version. Like you would literally see their body parts like getting stretched and shit. And I don't know, I loved Frontier. But don't get me wrong, I grew up watching, so Pokemon was huge for me. And for every pretty much kid in the 90s, right? Like Pokemon was just that show. Like it was just that show. And so Pokemon was really big. And then when Digimon got announced, we were all like, oh shit, it's like another version of Pokemon. Like it's just a digital monster. Instead of pocket monsters, you got digital monsters. And what made it so unique was instead of Pokeballs, you had the Digivice. So buying a Digivice in my neighborhood was a big deal because everyone had one. And we would sit there and just like Tamagotchis, because that's essentially what Digimon was marketed as, like a boy version of Tamagotchis, or a boy version of like those little Neopets and stuff like that. It was basically the same thing, just marketed for little boys. And we all had our own Digivice, whatever color you chose, because they're all different colors. They all had different Digimon that came with them. And then like your Digimon could evolve and you feed it and it walks with you. So as you walk, it got steps and stuff. Really cool and kind of ahead of its time that I think about it, because we have like Fitbits and shit like that have that technology these days.
They got that now though, the new ones, the Vital bracelets for Digimon.
Yep. So it just keeps on going.
They still make shit like they have like Vital bracelet Digimon. I might buy one of them just because like, that shit's
it will kind of make fitness more fun, because right now like I wear an Apple Watch every day. Like I have an Apple Watch on right now, and I wear an Apple Watch literally every day. And I like that it tracks like how many steps I've taken. When I do my exercises, I always choose one so that way my workouts are recorded. But yes, it always made it fun when me and my friends would walk really far, because my best friend that I grew up with, his grandmother used to always send us on expeditions. She'd be like, hey, can you go pick up my medicine? And it would be literally like 2 miles away. And we would just walk 2 miles, which was fun for us because we were young. So it was fun to just like walk and then go pick up her medicine or like pick up stuff from the grocery store or whatever. And we would have our Digivices and they would gain like steps and stuff as we walked. So that was fun for us to do.
Yep. They got Vital bracelets.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for
Digimon. And it actually, and then they got like special like dim cards that you can input. Of course, I got Renamon, Agumon, Gabumon.
Oh, that's fucking cool. I legit think I might buy one of those.
You should. And like it's like a Metabots one.
Yeah, that's dope.
Dude, I remember Metabots. Metabee was the main guy, right?
Metabots, yes. So your favorite Digimon is Cordero.
You should know since you watched Frontier, Lucamon.
Oh God! Of course, it's fucking the most evil thing ever. Like it just like the absolute evil.
I mean, it's got Lucifer in the name.
Yes.
So
light and dark.
What's yours, Kenny? Do you have a favorite Digimon?
I mean, for me, it's just like typical shit. It's like Agumon and Guilmon. Like
I agree with you, and that my favorite Digimon isn't anything crazy, and it's stuff that everyone knows about. I really like Pyodramon. I like Gallantmon. Gallantmon to me is so fucking cool, man. Like, I never expected Guilmon, and I love Guilmon's voice. I love the way the voice actor sounds. He actually sounds like a little
cute as fuck.
He's awesome. So cute.
And then when he evolved, dude, the other thing was like when he evolved in like Growlmon and stuff, because he starts off really cute, and then if I remember, like part of the storyline was like he couldn't really control himself when he did evolve.
He used to get like kind of evil.
And Yeah, like that shit it was like a cool little story. It's not a hot take, but there's some people out there that are Digimon haters. The Digimon anime,
cute,
the Digimon anime is better than
Ghost
Pokemon
Game.
anime.
Digimon Ghost Game. This is like I would fight for this Digimon.
Aww.
Gamamon.
Oh, he does look cute as hell.
He is so cute in that show. He makes Guilmon look like
he is cute as hell. Look at him.
You guys should watch Digimon Ghost Game. That show is way. I want to watch the reboot. The reboot's good too. I saw that. The reboot's good. You'll like it.
So, Kenny, yeah, you were saying like, you really love like Guilmon and stuff. I love Vmon. I love
when Vmon's awesome. Yeah,
I love when they started merging. Like Omnimon is crazy to me.
Omnimon is the shit. You know who else I like, but just because of his voice?
Who is it?
I like fucking Kabuterimon because he's a rant.
Kabuterimon.
Kabuterimon's
and they finally get their megas if you watch the Digimon movies, like the Tri movies. They learned they finally get
megas
their
in the
megas.
regular show.
I need to check those out. I really like the one Digimon movie that is basically a remake of Summer Wars. There's like an anime movie called Summer Wars, and then there's if I remember, a Digimon movie that is essentially, if I remember correctly, it basically like is a remake of Summer Wars but with Digimon or something. I can't remember exactly, but it's sick. It's got really cool animation. There's like a rabbit in it that like infects the datascape.
I know what you're talking about.
Rabbit, there's a good version of it as well.
Yeah, those are the Digimon Tri movies.
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. So I saw
6 movies.
Okay, well I definitely didn't.
It looks like Terriermon on like an evil ass Terriermon.
The Digimon is called Mankomon.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I saw maybe the first one, maybe the second one. I definitely did not see 6 of them though. I didn't know that. I'll have to get back on that.
The first one you saw Omnimon, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw Alphamon, the Black Royal Knight. Yep.
Yeah, I like the Royal Knights. I like that whole concept. I like so Terriermon always looked cool to me in its like, little base form because it had the really big ears. I always said I would love to have that one. And it had the cutest voice. Like the voice of Terriermon in the anime, and I only watched English dub, but
I did too.
It had the cutest voice.
Momentai.
It was so adorable. I also liked Angemon because Patamon took forever to actually evolve, but when it did against Devimon, like, that was such an epic moment. We did Hand of Fate, just like kill Devimon in one shot. Angemon was cool. Magna Angemon. Also War Greymon, Black War Greymon with the Black Air Force energy.
Skull Greymon.
Skull Greymon was so fucked. That thing, that was so what was Skull Greymon? That was like a fucked up evolution, right?
Yeah, he was like forced to digivolve, and so he like digivolved wrong, and it was like,
they had some cool concepts. I remember that episode. Yeah, Digimon had, because like Pokemon is very linear in a way. Like evolutions are just, they make sense first of all. Like your Pokemon is not going to go, because like think about Guilmon going to Galamon. Your Pokemon doesn't go from a fucking little dinosaur to a actual knight with a shield and a lance.
Well, don't forget he did Dark Digivolve too.
Now Pokemon, you go from a rabbit to, a fucking tennis player. Like, you just... Pokemon now, like, you have a rabbit that's a soccer player. It's like, all right, I guess.
Since you said that, Kenny, I still agree with that one episode that you said, Fraser, that you guys were talking about. I still, to this day, that water duck is going to be a cop.
Yep. I just feel like...
Or he's going to be Donald Duck.
We still don't have a confirmation on what they're...
Nah.
We don't know anything yet, still. Nothing.
And I'm sure before the games come out, they'll reveal their evolutions, but I'm going to do my best to avoid them because I don't want to see. One of my favorite things about Pokemon is when you're playing through the game, and then like when your Pokemon hits level 16 and he's about to evolve, and you're like, holy shit, what's he going to look like? Yeah. Like I love that. So I'm not going to see what they look like, but it's already decided. I'm picking the fire one because I pick the fire one in every game.
I usually pick
let's go. So
and that duck is sassy as fuck. So I just feel like I need that duck in my life. But yeah, I'm
to me, that duck is all Donald Duck's one of his lost nephews.
Oh God,
yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
He does look like it though. He honestly does look like he's inspired by Donald Duck. I mean, yeah, it just has that same type of look to him and his sassiness, the little head thing he has, like little hat. Yeah. So Digimon, it always used to be funny because they start off looking a certain way, and by the time they get to the end, like their last evolution, it's like
a fucking trash can with rocket launchers.
Yeah, like what is that? Like for example, one of them evolved into a fucking boxing cactus.
Oh, you're talking about Palamon. She uses a flower, and then she digivolves into Togemon with some boxing gloves.
Yes.
And then she digivolves into a flower fairy.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like where is this? How did you get from this to this? So,
like Agumon makes. Like Agumon and Greymon, like you could see that.
Yeah,
and, like,
you can genuinely see it.
But then eventually, like, it turns into a human, and you're like, all right, well, that's weird.
Yes. they become humanoid at some point, and it's like
yeah.
Gallantmon is still always one of the ones that just gets me because Gallantmon is like an actual knight, and I used to play the games. I don't know if you guys played the games on PlayStation or whatever.
Oh, I did. Digimon World, Digimon Worlds 1, 2, 3, and then Royal Rumble.
I used to.
The
play
only Digimon game I played extensively was Digimon Dawn and Digimon Dusk.
I played those.
Those were the only ones I played. Just because like they came out and I was like, oh, this is kind of like Pokemon. There's like 2 versions of it, and so I bought them and played it.
Yeah, they basically Digimon was smart. They follow Pokemon. Like they basically were like, we know that there's already a market for this type of thing, so let's have evolution to make sense. Evolution is just such a cool concept. Like Kenny said, the excitement you get from seeing something evolve, like especially when you don't know. Like it's one thing when you're like you already spoiled it for yourself, or like you know exactly where it's going. But when you have no idea that Metal Greymon is going to become War Greymon, the first time I saw that when they fought Myotismon and like they become Metal Garurumon and like War Greymon, that was epic as hell. Like Terraforce and all that stuff, like that shit is super epic. And there's a feeling of excitement.
Do you remember how they digivolve? Remember how they got to that point?
How did they get to that point? I don't remember the specifics.
Remember when Kari and TK had to give Angemon and Angemon the arrows of hope and light, and they actually hit Ty and Mac? Okay. I thought they were going to die. Remember that?
Oh man,
yeah, I do remember that now.
Oh shit!
It was the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah. I also remember. So they all had crests, and there was this whole thing about finding your crest, and I like that each of the characters of the original anime and like even animes after it were all some kind of value. So it'd be like loyalty and somebody else had courage, stuff like that. Like it would be all of these different things, and they would have to, in order to evolve their Digimon, they would have to work on themselves as a person.
Yep.
In order like to actually evolve.
It was really cool.
Yeah, they had some really good concepts, and just like the original series always seemed really long to me, but apparently like episode 1 to Devimon is like 12 episodes.
It did seem like it was very long.
But in my memory bank, like my Mandela effect is telling me that shit was at least like 30, 40 episodes, but apparently it just wasn't.
How long does it take for that guy, for Ken to show up?
Oh, Ken, that's like season 2. He comes right away as soon as season 2 starts.
Yep. And he was like evil at first or whatever, and then eventually he becomes like not. And Myotismon, and then you get like Venom Myotismon or whatever he was called.
And then he comes back in season 2, spoiler alert. Come back as Myotismon as the final villain.
Yeah, and then I remember the way it looked when they first did the Mega Evolution. So when Garurumon and Agumon or whatever, when they would do it,
they were warped.
It was like warp Digivolution, and you would see like this beam of energy, like, and then you would see them kind of go through all their evolutions real quick.
Yeah, they're like going like this, and then going like this, and then boom, and then they final stage.
Oh, it was so. And then it would be CG. You would see Metal Garurumon come out, and then all these missiles would fire out. He would like fly in. He would be on the moon. He like fly in, and then all of these missiles, this fucking full salvo would come out, and it would just start destroying everything. Really cool. Man.
Digimon was fucking fun.
Yeah, Digimon was actually epic as hell. Like honestly, the anime, and again, like I said, Frontier is my favorite because something about merging with your Digimon to me was such a cool thing, and it's something that I personally always imagine myself in worlds. I personally would have loved to literally fuse with my Digimon and become.
So, are you going to buy that Digivice? The Digivice's out right now.
I would buy
it.
Wait, what Digivice?
Bandai literally just brought out season 3 Digivice. I pre-ordered it. I got Rika's Digivice with the card slashing, and then I pre-ordered the one for Digimon season 4 when you just do the fractal code and you scan it and you Digivolve.
Fractal code digitize. I remember I used to do that. You see the line of data in the air.
I don't know what all. I'm definitely buying that the fitness one.
Yeah,
because you get the raise, like I'm assuming you get the raise like a little.
You can raise them. Like all you got to do is like you're literally working out, and the Digimon will like Digivolve, and all. You don't got to do no poop changes or none of that stuff. You just got to work out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about all the pooping, and the poop will always look the same as like this little triangle brown thing, and it would have the little smelly lines on it.
Anime poop is so funny. The way they draw poop in anime is funny. Yeah, it's like just like this swirl.
Yeah, it's always a swirl.
Like they almost make it cute. Like they almost make it cute. Like if that's anime is fucked up.
Yeah. Also, so you mentioned Battle Arena. I used to love that game, even though from a competitive standpoint, it's not exactly the best thing.
Yeah, it's no Smash Brothers.
It's no Smash Bros. But I used to love playing as Renamon and doing Diamond Storm, and like I jump in the air, and then all these little needle things would come down and like kind of freeze you in place.
Me and Fraser are the same. I used to be Renamon, then use the other attack, Tianshu, when she used to switch places with you. First, I'll do Diamond Storm, switch places with you so you can take the hit.
Oh, that's shit.
Awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, and then Beelzemon was in that. He had the guns and stuff. He was really powerful. Omnimon was in it, and he was just way too much, obviously. Because
Black War Greymon.
Yep, Black Air Force Energy. Gallantmon. Yeah, that game was really fun. I wish they developed stuff like that more. And honestly, I wouldn't mind a modern Digimon World game. Like they just remake the Digimon World games with new graphics, updated UI and all that stuff, and make it where
like the newest games right now is Digimon World Survive. That's like literally you watch an anime. You're really no interaction in that game. You're really just clicking A on the Switch all day and do a couple interactions and stuff. Turn.
Oh, it's not like an RPG. It's just kind of
like a visual.
You're literally watching a novel.
Yeah, definitely sounds visual novel.
I like visual novels, but if I was playing a Digimon game, I wouldn't want that. Like I would want it to have like some RPG mechanics.
Yeah,
but it's fun though.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of Digimon. Like it's actually crazy. It took us so long to do this because in our first 10 episodes, we basically did stuff that like we grew up on, and Kenny and I think both grew up like Pokemon, Digimon.
Yeah, like I had a bunch of the old Digimon cards. I'm assuming
I did too.
Does the new Digimon card game play like? Are they completely different rules compared to the old Digimon cards?
Yeah.
Yes, I never learned how to play the old Digimon cards. I just had a bunch of them.
There was a Digimon trading card game before this new one?
Yeah, when we were young.
They had like 2 of them.
Oh, I don't really remember that. That's like completely wiped from my memory almost.
Yeah, those I didn't really play besides the first one. And now with this new game, some of the alternate arts are from the original first game.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I had a bunch of the original Digimon cards. I never learned how to play because none of my friends really had them. I just like got them and collected them.
Yeah, everybody for me, like growing up, was like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Magic.
Yeah,
those were the big 3. And then it's kind of crazy because Dragon Ball had a card game, and then they got a new Dragon Ball Super card game, which everybody loves that one. But the old Dragon Ball card game, where they had the little Dragon Balls on the side and stuff, I never understood how to play it. Never even tried to play it. But I like that they were willing to take a chance on these dead card games and like reboot them, change things around, make them more modern and everything like that. Like it's really cool. And Digimon. Honestly, like at my local, people come to my local to play Digimon on Yu-Gi-Oh nights, and it definitely has a scene. Like it has a real scene, and like Xavier, he actually came to my house last night with a box of Digimon cards and started opening that shit. He actually left the fucking. Anyway, he bought a box of Digimon
that's
cards.
Fucked up, X.
No, it's fine. He left like the box with all the cards. But I'm like, I wonder if he just took the money cards out of it because he said
probably did.
He said that the set has $1,000 card in it.
Oh, the Ghost Rare. He's talking about the Ghost Rare Alphamon.
Is it that really card that expensive?
Hard to pull. It's super hard to pull. So far in Digimon, there's only 2 Ghost Rares. There's a Ghost Rare Omnimon. It's like $1,000. I think it dropped now. But now in this set, it's like a Ghost Rare Alphamon. The card came out in set 6, but then they put it in set 10 as a metallic gold black art.
Wow.
And the card's
worth question.
Shoot.
Do you know? I don't know how old or new. Actually, you said this card game is only a year old, right?
Yes, it's going on 2 years now.
I'm wondering if that Ghost Rare Omnimon first edition, if it's just a mistake to sell it, if you should just hold it for 10 years.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I have
with Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have a friend that has 4 of them. He loves to collect. He got those things locked up, bolted up, and stuff.
Yeah, because I could see those being worth. Because Digimon is a franchise that has survived. It's a property that has survived. I don't think Digimon's ever going to like die out or go anywhere. So 10 years from now, a super rare collectible of a Digimon card will probably still be worth money, even if, who knows whether or not the card game will still be around. But especially if the card game's still around, then even more so, I think those cards could be worth even more money.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you 2 don't play One Piece.
Well, it just came out.
Hold on, it just came out, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta actually figure out. Listen. 1,000,000%, I'm gonna buy whatever the starter decks
if you want to meet up at AU, we could legit get the starter decks or whatever and like.
Are they officially out in English?
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah, it's out. It just came out.
I thought it was only out in Japanese.
They're out here.
No, they're here.
Oh, I'll definitely get the starter decks.
Yeah. Also,
at the very least,
I might not only get the starter, I might buy a copy to just put away and never touch it because what happened with fucking Yugi and Kaiba.
Don't get me started.
In Yu-Gi-Oh, those are thousands of dollars now, And One Piece,
Legends of Blue Eyes.
Yes, and One Piece is a bigger franchise than Yu-Gi-Oh. So like, if
my God.
if at any point like it becomes real, or 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, whatever, like I can just see those being worth so much.
What do you guys know how the game is played at all, or no?
I actually don't. I did not watch. I'm going to do the same thing I did with Digimon last night, because you can see I know a lot about the Digimon trading card game, and I've never played it before.
I'm impressed.
But I watched one video. It was an 8-minute video, and I guess it only worked because I knew so many of the concepts already. Like, if One Piece has similar concepts,
I think it does.
I heard that it also has a very Dragon Ball Super-esque feel to it, and I never played that game before.
It does, from what I heard.
Yeah. But I'm down to try it, Kenny. Like, we can definitely try it.
So I think the starter decks that are out right now are the Straw Hat Crew, the Worst Generation, which has like Captain Kidd on it, the Shichibukai 7 Warlords, which has Crocodile, and then a fucking Kaido deck.
Yeah, like that's the thing. How are they just gonna release from the very beginning? Like, how does Kaido have a deck and it's fucking the first?
I'm gonna buy all 4 of these, like guaranteed. Yeah. Like I'm gonna buy all 4 of these.
Yeah, that's dope though to have. Kaido, Shichibukai. I'm so excited.
They're only $12.
Yeah, because only right now, only the starters are out, I believe, not set one yet.
Yeah,
I think set one comes out December.
Oh, so there's no there's no packs yet.
Right. So
no packs yet until like December.
To play with just
get the starter.
Oh, cool. So we're okay. I'm definitely buying. I'm gonna buy all 4 starter decks, guaranteed. So like I might order them on Amazon today.
Oh, they're on Amazon?
Like, I don't know if they're on Amazon, but I assume they are.
That'd be great, because we could bring them. We could play them out like Thanksgiving. I was planning on this is like complete aside, but for Thanksgiving, I was planning on having something either at my apartment or at Medina's or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And we could just like bring them and just have.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna buy all 4 of them. If they're on Amazon, I'll buy them today. Like.
Yeah. No, that sounds really fun. Okay, so I guess before we completely get out of here, Cordero, I wanted to ask you, like, what are your top 3 favorite anime? You can feel free to throw out more if you want to. I didn't want to make it too crazy.
I know top 3 is always pretty hard, but at the very least, what are the top mentions that Cordero's got to talk about?
Yeah, like your favorite of all time, just like anime that really you could watch that shit over and over again. You know so much about it.
Oh, that's easy. Sailor Moon.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Not surprised.
A newer one would be 7 Deadly Sins. I think I've seen that like 9 times.
Yep, you
love that. I've always seen the first 2 seasons, but
yeah, I've seen 2 as well. So 7 Deadly Sins, Sailor Moon.
This is hard. I'll say Card Captors.
Oh, I love
Card Captor Sakura.
Yeah,
yeah,
but like old school stuff.
Yeah, that is old school.
Wait, is there new Card Captors?
They made a new season. Only gave us 1 season like 2-3 years ago called Clear Cards. But yeah, Card Captors was like my show with Sailor Moon. Yes. And then with the reboot of Sailor Moon Crystal that follows the manga, I was in love. I think Fraser's saying like I posted so many statuses about that on Facebook.
Yeah, you love that shit.
I felt alone, man. When Sailor Moon Crystal came out, I was watching that shit, and I pretty much knew nobody else that was watching it. But and then also people were complaining about it at first. Like, I don't know. I remember there was some hate for it, but
I told people it followed the manga. That Crystal followed the manga. A lot of people don't realize. They think it's trying to follow the show. I'm like, no, this is based off the manga, so things are going to be different from the TV show. And
I really like Crystal. And then you know what else I like? I don't know if I'm sure you have. But years later, they redubbed original Sailor Moon.
I hate the new dub.
Oh, well, I thought it was cool because I think I saw it on Hulu. Because, in the original...
Hulu did have it, yeah.
Yeah, original Sailor Moon, they called her Serenity, if I remember. But then Usagi. I was watching it on Hulu, and they were calling her Usagi.
Yep.
And I was like, they did not... Because I know that's her Japanese name.
I hated that when they transferred it.
I was like, they did not call her that in English.
They were calling Usagi in English?
They changed the names completely. Because when I watched it, I was still calling her Serena, Jarian, Ray, Amy.
Yeah, but then they made a new English dub where they gave them the Japanese names. And I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
And their attacks name changed too. Like to the Japanese name. I'm like, nope, I'm still calling it whatever. Mars, Fire Ignite. I did all that stuff. Still the original.
You did a little hand sign right there.
I still remember it all.
Hand sign.
I still remember
Jupiter Thunderclap. I used to love Sailor Moon.
Jupiter's my favorite.
Yes, Jupiter's my favorite too. And she had that Thunder Dragon. I remember when she first did the Thunder Dragon, I lost it. She was fighting some monster that kept on saying Vampi.
Yep, I remember the episode as clear as day. Over and over
again. It just kept saying it. It was thrashing everybody. And then you know how everyone has their episode where they get a new power. And Jupiter had her episode, and she fucking did that Thunder Dragon, and that shit destroyed that creature. Oh, so good. So many nostalgic memories with that. But yeah, you have a good like top 3, even though like, you know, you can shuffle them around with your top 10 or whatever like that. But yeah, you named 3 really good ones. I loved Card Captors. I remember like Clowry and Yahweh or Yue, whatever his name was.
The Moon Guardian, Kiro.
Yep.
The Sun Beast.
When they transformed, then you had like the evil versions or whatever with the girl with the butterfly wings was like a counter to Yue, and then you had the Black Panther. Was like supposed to be a counter to her little guy, her little lion.
Hero,
Yeah, that anime, I never finished it. And I remember back in the day, like Channel 17 or Kids WB or whatever it was called would just they would just play the same episodes.
Pre-internet, it was hard to finish an anime.
It really was.
Because like they would just redo episodes, or like you would miss a day, or like
and then every time they got to the end, like they caught up, they would restart from the beginning. I can't tell you how many times I saw the episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Majin Vegeta, right?
Not even that one too, but I'm taking it all the way back. So when fucking Goku is on Nimbus and he's going to go fight Raditz.
Oh yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, I remember during that era,
final explosion, and then it would go back.
Final explosion, and then the next episode would be episode 1 of Dragon Ball Z, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Do you know how long, like how many fucking years it's going to take to get back? Because it takes years. It will take fucking actual like over a year to get back from Raditz all the way to the end. Like that is insane. So I hate it. Every time that would happen, it would be like, oh.
I remember going to the library and like seeing pictures of like Super Saiyan Trunks and stuff. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Same. Oh, wallpapers and stuff like that. Deviant art.
Didn't even know who the hell they were.
Me either. I used to see Super Saiyan Trunks. There was that one picture. This picture has aged so well. It's all of them with their arms folded.
I know that picture. I know that picture.
All of the Saiyans, and they're all in Super Saiyan mode. When I tell you that picture looks so cool even to this day, like I love that fucking picture.
Dude, there's so many awesome DBZ wallpapers from back in the day.
Yes, and every once in a while.
I had a friend I remember 6th grade, he had a binder, and it was just like, and at this time, not everybody had a computer, so he just had a binder where he printed out like a bunch of wallpapers. He just had like all these pictures in the binder, and it was just like all these different DBZ wallpapers that I guess, you know, he found on the internet.
I used to do the same thing.
Oh my God, like it was so cool because I didn't have access to the internet back then. So I'm like, oh, let me look at your binder, and I would just like look through his binder every day. Oh man, I missed that shit.
Yeah, those were good times, honestly. Like, you know, it's obviously the nostalgia for us that makes it feel so good, but they were genuinely really good times.
Mm-hmm. I got one thing I wanted to say. I'm mad at both of you. How dare y'all stop watching Power Rangers?
Oh, I watched
that episode. I watched that episode.
There were so many of them, Cordero.
You've seen all the series?
I've seen them all. I'm like, I listened to that one episode of that podcast. I'm like, how dare you don't remember the Nasty Night chant? Rita did the Green Ranger chant. I'm like, I remember all that stuff.
Listen, I started watching Power Rangers.
I remember all the Green Ranger shit. I remember Rita. Listen, Mighty Morphin, it had 3 seasons. I know all of that. Like fucking, I know Power Rangers like Turbo, In Space.
I watched them all. And just last week I finished the new one, Dino Charge.
But yeah, a lot of the newer ones, I've seen some of them because I might have mentioned this in the Power Rangers episode, but there was a period of time when I would hang out with my little brother a lot. He was like maybe 5 or 7, and I would pick him up from daycare, and we would watch Power Rangers on Netflix because I don't know if they had a bunch of different. So I ended up seeing like Power Rangers RPM, and like Mystic Force. So I saw like some other ones during that time period, but I definitely have not seen all of them. Just because
they brought back Lord Zed in the new one.
Oh shit!
Wait, and which one did they bring back? I'll check out Lord Zed.
And if you watch, it's on Netflix. If you watch Dino Fury in season 2, they brought back Lord Zed. He's back.
That's cool.
And like the series just ended, and they didn't kill him, so he's gonna be in Cosmic Fury.
They gotta bring back those 2 guys, like the Ren and Stimpy or whatever.
Oh, every Power Ranger season, they have like a new Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, they'd be like, they had that little trolley ass music.
Yeah,
I watched some. Like I remember. Like, there were some things that would bring me back. Like, I remember when they were talking about, they were making that episode Forever Red, where it was like, up until that point, all of the Red Rangers in one episode. And I remember watching that because they have
the 30th
Tommy.
anniversary.
Yeah, they had Tommy with like his Red Zeo and all this other shit, and Jason wasn't there. And then like Jason rolls up on his motorcycle, and I never forget. He's like, "You couldn't do this without the original Red Ranger." Like, that's fucking right, Jason. That's fucking right.
Do you want to know something funny with that episode? I saw this on a TikTok. Okay, you remember that episode? Remember how when Tommy said, "I met some of you guys." Have you guys ever wondered how the hell did he ever meet half these Rangers? Right? There was supposed to be. Yeah, they're supposed to be like a special series where they all supposed to unite. Like Jason was supposed to have a set of Power Rangers working with him. Tommy was supposed to have a set of Red Rangers and stuff working with him, but they never aired that.
Oh, okay.
And plus, Tommy and Jason, they never got along in real life.
Yeah, in real life, they don't get along. They have beef.
But I can't wait for the 30th season because the original Black Ranger, Billy and Zach are going to be in there with Rocky, Catherine, and then they're using Trini's daughter in the show.
Oh, that's an awesome way to honor her memory.
Cool. Yep. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to honor her memory. I really like stuff like that.
And I love the
opportunity to somebody else.
Yep.
The original Rangers plus the original replacements. So like, Billy, Zach, Jason, Trini.
I'm just mad that like Kimberly and stuff didn't want to do it. Kimberly, she actually is what is she now? She's a director. She directs Superman.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. And then Rocky, and then I know you guys know this, but fucking Adam, the Black Ranger.
I wanted Adam. Ichigo. I wanted him.
He's Ichigo, Johnny Young Bosch. Like the second Black Ranger is Ichigo's voice actor.
That's actually so random.
Yeah, so
I wanted shit like that. Cool.
Yeah.
But Zach works.
I love Zach. That's cool. I fucking absolutely Zach. My 3 favorite Rangers of all time are Zach, Tommy, and Jason.
Oh, from the original?
Yeah, Tommy's number 1. Jason and Zach, like those, like green, red, and black. Like those 3 are my absolute favorites forever.
Tommy, Kimberly, and Jason.
I just love Pyramidas, the Gold Ranger. Yes, you know me.
That clip I sent you?
Yes,
I sent him a clip yesterday.
That's awesome.
The Gold Ranger is still like the absolute coolest thing that's ever happened to Power Rangers to me. That costume, when the year I got to wear that costume, I said, this is the only Halloween costume I need for the rest of my life. And then I outgrew it, obviously, because I was really young, really small. And I'm sure that nowadays I probably could buy some really high tech version of it, like some high quality Gold Ranger on some Japanese website or something that just like sells
Etsy store or something.
The Gold Ranger looks like the black and gold is so sick.
It just looks so, because like an actual Ranger that would be all gold probably wouldn't look as cool, but the black with it,
the black and gold is a good call, because I think
gold is
I agree. All gold, you could pull it off, but it would be tough. It could be tacky.
Yeah. It could be it's very gaudy in my head. Like you could look like I imagine if they did an all gold Ranger, it would look like one of the most powerful Power Rangers ever. Because I can imagine like all of his attachments and shit. He probably have wings or something like made out of metal. Just like he would be extra. He would be like when all the Digimon combine and they make some crazy ass version of a knight. I can imagine a Gold Ranger looking something like that. But for just like a not to be too much, the Gold Ranger with just like all of that black and gold together. Black and gold is just a match made in heaven. It just looks so good together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Cordero. I don't think I'll ever watch all the Power Ranger seasons. There's just too fucking many of them.
There's too many.
Unless like I have a kid one day, I might have a kid and then like watch. Yeah, and then I'll go through them that way. But
because my YouTube channel is actually from a Power Ranger name, from Power Rangers Ninja Storm, one of the villains.
Okay, so I'm the villain.
Yeah, where Vexacus come from. Yep.
I never knew that because I never saw that one. So I never knew.
I've seen episodes of Ninja Storm, but I haven't seen.
Oh, so you're like a hardcore Power Rangers fan?
Oh yeah, my mom is too.
So wait, okay, this is really random. So because I think I said this in the Power Ranger episode. Have you ever seen the YouTuber Black Nerd Comedy?
Yep.
And because he's a gigantic Power Rangers fan, and he had that one episode where he interviewed Selvin Ward, first black leader of the Power Ranger. Did you ever see that? Because I think I mentioned that video made me laugh so hard because like they kept stopping the video and he'd be like Selvin Ward, because he said that Barack Obama became president because he was the first black leader of the Power Rangers. He was like,
I couldn't believe he said that because I cracked up laughing.
I haven't watched that YouTube channel Black Nerd Comedy in a while, but I used to watch that channel a lot, and he was like a huge Power Rangers fan, and he just has like. He has a lot of really great energy. He's a fun guy to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But your YouTube channel, I'll check out. Send me your YouTube channel. I didn't know about you or your YouTube channel until Fraser said we were having you on. But I'll definitely check it out.
Oh yeah, my number one video. I think Fraser remembers this. Remember Kevin Silva?
Yes, I do.
Remember that video, the challenge to Jeff, where I instigated that? This is where drama comes in.
Yep.
Can you gotta watch that video? I gotta wait.
I'll check it out. I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's right up there as far as like videos in the community that are infamous, because I get tagged in that shit on Zodiac Duel sometimes when they start talking about stuff like that. But it's like me and Peter Chang and then Jeff and Kevin Silva. So yeah, those are some pretty big moments in the Yu-Gi-Oh's history.
That is my most popular video, 68K.
Damn.
I'll definitely check it out.
All right, before we get out of here, as you guys know, I always give a shout out to everyone on our Patreon. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it. For people who are not on our Patreon, if you want to support the podcast, if you want to see exclusive episodes that literally they only drop on Patreon, they are nowhere else. Or if you also are interested in seeing video versions like this one, where you can see Cordero and me and Kenny talking, if you're interested in that type of thing, all of those episodes are dropped on our Patreon. So look for IMNerd Podcast on patreon.com. And also listener letters, we have a couple of those piling up, so probably in our next episode we will address that. But if you want to write into the podcast, you can write in at IMNerdPodcast@gmail.com, and we will read it aloud on the show. Again, that is IMNerdPodcast@gmail.com. You can write in anything you want, we'll read it, and as long as it's not obviously something crazy that is offensive to some group of people. But you know, you guys are smart. You guys are not going to do anything like that. So far, all the listeners we've gotten have been literally read at some point, and they're all actually pretty decent. So without further ado, for the people who are on our Patreon, shout outs, we got Connie, Austin, Leon, Quest, Garen, Xavier, Hylian, TCG Automotive, Dimitri Barnes, Alexander Brissett, Vinny Casello, Giovanni Avelos, Andre Reynolds, CJ, WK-1, Saul at Dabber's Gaming Cafe, and also Dank Ritual, Dan Variable, Dennis Milburn, Joseph Marcello, First to Home, Dallas Fernaris, S. Akuma, Mitchell Nels, Midwest Gaming, William Shapiro, Dimitri Safiris, Vince Marquette, Dallas Bailey, Roz Weiss, Nick Stango, Scott Polera, Hansu, our two-time national champion, Vincent Zen, Sarah Maria, Sonny at the Top Cut Podcast, Alex Ahern, Philip Campa, Jalen Haskins, Arale, Melfi Slump, and last but not least, Dominic Couch. Thank you guys so much for the support. I also want to say, for our Patreon, we are about halfway through the month now, so it's October 16th when we're recording this. We will be doing our Patreon exclusive episode for the month of October. So I'm going to put a poll on Patreon for the people who have access to the exclusive episodes. So anyone who's at the main character tier or party member tier or higher, you guys will be able to vote on the exclusive episode, and that will be dropped towards the end of October. So that poll will be going up. I want to use the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, we have a podcast suggestions channel, and in there people put in like things they want us to talk about, and then we will put it into a poll, and then that'll be what the episode is for the month of October. Also, at some point we're going to do part 2 of the life advice episode. So that was a Patreon exclusive last month, and we talked about investing and a bunch of other stuff, but there's a lot that we didn't get to talk about, like relationship advice and stuff like that. So we will be doing part 2 of that at some point as well as a Patreon exclusive, but we'll get back to it. In any event, thank you guys again. As I always say, do the things that make you happy. Also, special shout out to Cordero and his YouTube channel, Vexacus4666. Thank you, Cordero, for joining us, talking about Digimon, talking about being a content creator, talking about Yu-Gi-Oh days. And yeah, you're one of my really good friends for over a decade now in the Yu-Gi-Oh community. You've made being in the community very pleasant. So,
well, I'm very happy to meet you. I like your energy. I can, based on the things you said and the stuff I can see in the background, I can already tell we get along. So,
oh yeah, I'll definitely be playing Pokemon with you.
100%. I'm down.
Yeah. All right. Well, until Violet and Scarlet come out, we will speak again.
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Anyway, guys, have a good one. Do the things that make you happy.